Hey, screeners, how you doing? It's myself, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
Double V, the Viceroy, verisimilitude. Me too, Nico Lurot. I haven't brought up Double V for a while, have I?
I know. Well, guys, look out where Double B was birthed. The episodes will be coming back soon. So yeah, let's shout out to the wrestling fans. And also, may I just say big shout out to August Fernandez Brites. Thank you very much, sir, for an awesome theme song. It has not been forgotten. It will be in the mix. So when you guys see a new intro, we will be shouting out that gentleman once again. So. Whoa, what's the eyes about, man?
Sorry, what the fuck? Yeah, okay, figured that one out. I got a terrible reverb there, and I was like, what is happening?
Okay.
And it's like, because I had the live stream playing on YouTube in the background, I'm like, that's it.
YouTube. Talking of that, something that did cross my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are available to share, get sharing now. Let your people know. If you want to be part of a movie bit, just click the link. Guys, they're there. They're live. The silver screen dudes in your house, in your face, ready to go.
Yeah, that. Invite your friends to come and join us. And speaking of friends to come and join us, on the show for the very first time, Saint Jackie from Twitter, Jackie Gomez is here. What up, Jackie? Great to have you here.
Jackie, thank you.
Francis Lalonde is with us once again. We're on a mission from God, which remains me of the 1966 Debbie Reynolds film, The Singing Nun. Nico doesn't do nuns because of The Conjuring.
Mate, I have this picture to send you that I saw on it's a meme. I'm gonna send it after this show. But for The Singing Nun, let's start.
Oh, we're doing that already, are we? Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Okay. Pedro Santos is in the house. Opa. Will Johnson from the US of A. Rocketman is his pick. Francis Lalonde says yes. Tripping out on reverb. It's all sorts of weird when you've got AJ coming at you with a 3-second delay in each ear. It's like, I'm here and I'm 3-second delayed. Like, what is happening? That was interesting. Mixed Memorabilia is in the house. Hello, everyone. Gavin Mann's here. Hello, gents. Looking forward to you honoring Enrico Palazzo tonight.
Guess.
If you wonder why we're both drinking, because you haven't been watching for a while, or maybe you're listening on one of our podcast platforms, we somehow, I don't know how the fuck this idea came about, but I don't know if it was a combination of you, me, the screeners, all of us together. Like we roped up. I mean, we did a rope-a-dope to ourselves here. Let's be real.
Was it Andy? I think Andy took the piss once based on one of these topics, and I was like, it was like, if we had a drinking game of I hadn't seen it based on what AJ says, we'd all be drunk or something along that line, and then it just kind of.
It smells a bit Andy, this, doesn't it? There's definitely some Andy fuckery up here. Defo. But yeah, we did say, it was last week or the week before, that there would be a drunk Rushmore. Okay, date confirmed. 8th of March is the first drunk Rushmore. This guy's birthday is the 6th of March. 8th of March is the drunk Rushmore. So be there. Be there. And the name of the game, tell us movies we haven't seen. And we drink. As well as doing the usual top 10 show. Francis Lalonde says, full disclosure, I was raised Roman Catholic and had twin sisters who also nuns. Francis Lalonde, your sisters are the most terrifying people in the world to me then.
All right. I wasn't laughing at that statement, by the way. You'll see it come down in a bit as to how the drinking game came about. Keep going.
Frank Torres says, hello, friends. Hope your week is off to a good start. What is your read on Kristen Stewart? Is she an unseen treasure or terribly overrated? So that's a great question to start off. I think having seen her latest film.
What, Spencer?
Yeah, I think she's really good.
So I'll be honest, I've not seen a lot of her stuff. Mainly, it was a Twilight movie, which I could.
Yeah,
but
Robert Pattinson was also Twilight, bro. He's done a lot more since then. This is the kind
I get it. I just haven't seen a lot of her, so it's hard because I at the time I was like, again, everyone in that film kind of had me on a. So what's the buzz? That's the thing. But
really?
No, honestly, it was that. But I don't want to then dismiss someone's capability based on the fact that it's just one film. That would just be terribly unfair to anyone.
Well, 5 films and they were all shit, but yeah.
But no. I've done one Twilight. I'm not I'm not. I still think I'm missing something. But again, someone who's down with the fanging and banging, and I just saw something and I was like, huh? Glittery vampires. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Pedro Santos says, Nicky Gunn, folks, Enrico Palazzo. Andy Hart says, "Yeah, I made a joke and Nico took it too far. So it's my fault. So I ropered up myself and brought you down with me.
You tend to, but hey, it's fine.
Star Spangled Banner never sounded better. Ozopsi, Yusuf's in the house. Movies based on fictional characters that are musicians or of real life musicians, or real life musicians playing fictional musicians, or all. All.
Okay, that's interesting.
You went purely biographical.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
Nope, it's movies about musicians. No one said they had to be real.
Fair play.
No one said they had to be real. Pedro Sanctos says Kristen Stewart's a good actress. Panic Room and her collaborations with Olivia Assayas. Thank you. That's a nice pull there. Mixed Memorability says, side note, AJ, did you manage to watch Amores Perros?
So, funny enough, I was actually waiting for Mixed Memorabilia to come in, and when I saw your name come up, Mixed Memorabilia, I had the awesome smile on my face because I actually did get to watch it. I kept my word. Freaking awesome! I'm not gonna lie. Like, thank you so much for the recommendation.
Is it better than Crash?
So, do you know what I had in my mind? Have you seen it, Nick?
No.
Okay, cool. Imagine, and this is such a weird way, but it's what came into my mind. Imagine Crash had Tony Scott directed it.
Oh
yeah, bro! Like it has this grit to it, and it has that raw, that rawness that we appreciate from a Tony Scott film. It has that to it that I really, really appreciated, and yeah, I was really taken in. Like at first, I was like, okay, where we go? Like it starts off with this car chase, and you're like, okay, well, kind of guessing it's going to lead to a car crash, and then it starts, and then you go into a story, and it connects in a way, not as much as Crash does, but it doesn't need to connect. Each story which is connected to this car crash is awesomely told, very, very well told, and it's weird because as you can see, the word pedos is in there, dogs are in there, like each person has a dog connected to them somewhere or another as well throughout the story. Freaking awesome. What I didn't know, that this is part of a trilogy from the director, because it was this, 36 Grams, and Babel are all meant to be part of like this trilogy.
Is Amores Perros an Iñárritu film? I always thought it was Almodóvar.
No. Iñárritu.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it's part of this was his first film, followed by the next two. So it's like a death trilogy or a life trilogy, something like that it's called. But yeah, freaking loved it. So Mixed Memorabilia, I thank you. I honestly thank you. That was awesome.
So here's a small confession, which I know I don't even know if I'm on a small island. I think I'm out floating at sea by myself on this one. I did not care for Babel.
I haven't seen it, so I can't judge.
Did not care for it. I know the world was like, oh my God. I was like, meh.
This happens. It happens, bro. It does happen.
Meh. So don't hate me, movie fans. Gavin Mann says Kristen Stewart was Joan Jett in The Runaways. Won't make my list, but can't speak for AJ.
No. Sorry. Again, as the confession previously said, only seen her in Twilight.
Frank Torrey says, wow, Tony Scott, I'm in the right place. You're damn right, Frank. Tony Scott is much loved. Tony Scott is much loved here at the Rushmore. Francis Lalonde says, oh, AJ Nico, did you check out any of the musician films I tweeted, especially wondering about Death of a Rock Star? So I did. I'm not obviously going to reveal my list. Maybe some of your movies made my list. Maybe some didn't. And Mixed Memorabilia says Babel is incredible as well. This is the thing. I don't get it. I don't see the hype.
I don't remember that mention of Death of a Rockstar. I do apologize, Francis, but I will be adding it to my list now.
Babel is incredible as well. I mean, it's got great fucking performances in it, but meh. The stuff in Japan fascinated me. I thought that was cool. Will Johnson says, how about Across the Universe? No. I'm really glad we're not playing the drinking game. Yes, Pedro Sanctos, you can drift with me on that piece of wood that Rose from the Titanic took up. I dislike Babel, my man. Oh, the porn has come in. Let me get rid of the porn.
Oh, God.
User. Porn has gone. We have removed the porn.
Cool.
Right. Wait. Right. So,
Pedro. Oh, yeah.
Carry on. What?
Yeah. No, I was saying that's why you said Pedro agreed with you.
Also, before we continue, this thing in the middle of my face, I'm very aware and self-conscious of it. This is from an elbow in Muay Thai. I took a really stiff elbow when I was training today. Cut me right open. So apologies for the way I look, but hopefully...
So based on my camera, it's not as visible as it probably is in real life. But yes, we are aware of a small red dot. Krillin. But apart from that, nothing huge.
Krillin, fuck you.
Couldn't help. But yeah, no, you're all good apart from that, bro. Right, so that was that. Yeah, guys, again, if there are any recommendations you'd like to put out there for us, we will check them out. It doesn't have to necessarily be out there. Sometimes we go onto our weird tangents, and it came out into a recommendation. And no, bro, check it out. Check it out.
As Opsy says, I didn't see it till you mentioned it. Lol. As chance would have it. Pedro Sancto says, Wayne's World almost made my list. Excellent.
Gina had a fallout with the missus the other day over Wayne's World.
Oh, what did she say about Wayne's World, AJ?
Well, she said that she had gone to sit with her mum and they walked out. And I was like, what? It was a heap of crap. We were talking about certain films. There was one that nearly made my list. And she goes, oh, it's up there with the... What? Something Mike Myers came up in the list. What was... Oh, we were talking Austin Powers. I can't remember. All this kind of madness came out. Talked about Austin Powers. Mike Myers and the different roles he's played. And she's like, I've not seen him in anything else. I was like, yes, you have. He's not only the voice of Shrek, he's also the guy from the film you love, taking the piss. She's like, what? Oh, Wayne's World. Yeah, that film that I fell in. I was like, huh? You walked out of Wayne's World?
Who does that?
I don't know.
I feel her film education still needs...
But
she made me some cocaine bubblegum.
We went out shopping the other day. We split up for a bit to go different places. She goes into a card shop. So organized that she is. She's already picked up my Valentine's Day card. While in there, someone says to the cashier, excuse me, I was just wondering if you can help me. Is Spider-Man Marvel? At which point she turns around and goes, yes, my boyfriend's educated me on that. I can guarantee it. I can confirm he's Marvel. I was like, well done.
Good.
Love it.
Pedro Santos asks AJ, which do you guys like better, Wayne's World 1 or 2?
I think I'm gonna lean with 1, but it's been so long since I've watched either. I'm kind of hazy, but I think even back then I kind of preferred 1. Just
couldn't tell you because I've never seen a Wayne's World.
So you may agree with Tam and may walk out for Wayne's World.
Who fuck knows? I may do.
Fair play.
Who knows?
It's stupid fun. That's what Wayne's World is. Don't expect like the
I'm always fucking nervous when you say something stupid fun.
It's
stupid Grease.
No, I never called Grease stupid fun.
But that's all it can be qualified as if you're going to enjoy it.
Fair play. I'm not going to go into this again. And Stu, but Wayne's World is stupid, but it's of that spoof era. So, yeah.
Jackie Gomez, your first interaction with us, Elvis with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. This one was actually a miniseries, but was sold to other countries as a movie, and it was pretty good. Rhys-Meyers did a great job as Elvis. Jackie, I'll have to add that one to the list. It did not make my 10. So,
I was actually looking for an Elvis one.
Yes.
But I didn't actually find one. So I will add this now. Maybe it's down as a series. That could be why.
Oh, shit. I think I've forgotten one thing here, actually. One thing I wanted to add before we continue. Guys. Quick little fun nugget. Let me just find it and put it in the chat link here. AJ, vamp for me a second, please.
Okay, so I will vamp, and I don't know if we want to wait for it now. Do you want to talk about topics now relating to film, or would you prefer I don't? Because Mixed Memorabilia has just put something out there, and I don't know if you want to leave it now or...
I'm not actually looking at the page at the moment. I've gone looking somewhere else.
So I will just do that because, hey, what else is there to vamp? No, with respect, Mixed Memorabilia, really appreciate all your comments. But Mixed Memorabilia has said, I need to get my rant out on Straight Outta Compton, something about the film I didn't like.
Oh,
so
dear.
We will wait and find out what that is. I understand there are some gaps in that film. Jackie Gomez also says, and there's a new Elvis biopic coming up by Baz Luhrmann.
Sign me up.
I'm pretty down with that one. And Frank Torres says, let's talk Straight Outta Compton.
Later.
Okay, we'll leave that till later. I kind of agree. Curious to see new Elvis film coming up. Baz Luhrmann
Tom Hanks is in it too.
That's about a minute. Okay, guys. While Nico is getting whatever it is, and I
got it.
Just as the vamp was about to be.
No. Go on. Do your vamp.
Okay, so I was just about to say, as well as sharing it on YouTube and Facebook, as you guys are doing for us right now, just to build the community. do remember that anyone who would like to just listen and not watch, I mean, two Playboy models here, but hey, it is what it is. They can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, Stitcher, GeoSavin, and all they have to do is search for the Movie Mount Rushmore. And we say please to that, and we thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to bring up a little scrolling ticker banner because what I've taken on board some feedback from everyone. Now, as I said, the Movie Mount Rushmore is never, ever going to be hidden behind a paywall. Ever. But
Word to Jericho.
And my Nicoholics. But a lot of people have said, like, hey, if we do want to leave a tip, if we do want to give you guys something, there's no way to do that. And I was kind of like Patreon maybe, but then Patreon's got all these membership levels. I found something really cool. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. Now, guys,
really funny.
Go on.
Before we go any further, last week, or whenever the comment came up, you were like, if you want to buy us a coffee, you could buy us a coffee. And the funny thing is I actually came across this thing as well. And guys, this isn't planned. We aren't just plugging Buy Me a Coffee out of nowhere. This randomly, it was something I wanted to talk to you about after the show, actually. But if it's been set, it's been set. So I was quite shocked. I was like, did Nico know about this?
No, it's been set. Guys, you can see scrolling across the bottom right now. I set it up a few days ago. I'd like to reiterate what I said on Twitter. There is no pressure to anyone watching to react to this, and there is absolutely no expectation for you guys to be here for any other reason other than to enjoy the movie podcast with us. But
this is based on your feedback, guys. Like without
this
like,
is your this was some of your suggestions.
Blaming you guys, but I agree. It's not.
If you guys do want to tip us for as little, literally, I've set it to the lowest mark at Buy Me a Coffee allows. Just head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. And I have also put the link in the comment section there. Bang. So if you do want to tip us, if you like us, if you like our content, by all means, go for it. No pressure, but the option is there if you want it. That's all.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you very much in advance, and thank you for setting it up, Nico. Yeah, awesome.
It's there if you want it. And yes, exactly.
There was no pressure at all, guys.
Pedro, link is also in the description.
If there was to be any pressure, it's just to share and then let YouTube do the paying. But aside from that, again, even that you don't have to.
No,
we just appreciate the community.
Now, I'd like to be real on that one. Guys, if you know anyone who would be interested in literally what seems to be a growing movie family here, coming on once a week on Tuesdays, discussing a new weekly top 10, bring them along. Bring them along. I know Will Johnson's shown some of his friends over in the States. Bring them along. More the merrier. Should we actually talk some fucking movies now?
Well, we can. But before we do, would you like to just tell anyone who's joining us for the first time what the Movie Mount Rushmore is all about, please?
Jackie Gomez, this one's for you. So for those of you joining us for the first time, please be sure to like the video, share the video with anyone who you think may be interested, and do hit that subscribe button and follow us on all of our usual podcast platforms on iOS, Android, and Spotify. How does the Movie Mount Rushmore actually work? Basically, it's a top 10 show between two best friends from school. Where it works is like this. We each get assigned a topic. We get assigned a topic. We go our separate ways. We make our separate lists. We come right back here into recording and deliver to you, the silver screen dudes, the movie fans, our individual top 10s. This week, AJ, that way. Yes, that way. This week, AJ will go first, delivering his bottom three. I will then deliver my bottom three. AJ will deliver his next two. I will deliver my next two. And then when we get to our top five, we trade one apiece. If at any time while we are rounding off our individual top 10 lists, one person has a movie in a higher position, that person will say,
punt.
And we will punt and talk about that movie when we get to the high position. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 lists, we will create the Movie Mount Rushmore. These are the 4 quintessential, diverse, must-see movies of the genre, which this week is...
Top 10 movies about musicians. I'm going to put /singers just because not everyone's played an instrument. And before we do go into that, what Nico forgot to mention is we, the Silver Screen Dudes, have the challenge of creating the top 4 must-see movies of this genre. However, it gets more challenging for you guys, the screeners, because once we've created the top 4, you then have to head on over to @MovieMT_Rushmore or more importantly, We Love Movies, movie polls for you, fronted by good old JT, who will post out our topic from the previous week. You get to vote, and then we will announce the winner. So last week our topic was
the best spy movie.
And our contenders were
Our contenders were From Russia with Love, Argo, Mission Impossible, and North by Northwest. AJ, guess away.
I'm going to go for the hate here. Argo at number 4.
Argo at number 4, 14%.
Mission Impossible at number 3.
Mission Impossible at number 3, 20%. Oh, it's tough now, isn't
it? Oh, yeah. Not so cocky now. Russia with Love.
Well done. Clean sweep. From Russia with Love at number 2 with 31%, and North by Northwest at number 1, just 35%. There was at one point, just before the votes ended, there was like 1% separating the top two, and it was swinging back and forth. Kind of fun to watch. Jackie Gomez knows 4th place to Argo. That's unfair. Damn right.
Yeah, it is. It is. There would never be it's always going to be tough with a Rushmore, but I have a feeling that, Argo was going to be a tough one. I think Bond, had it just been Bond would have won. But because it's a specific film, some preferences may have swayed it somewhat. So interesting.
Pedro Santos has a great idea, actually. I like the change with checking last week's Rushmore in the beginning. Would you consider revealing what your personal votes would be? I'm guessing based off of the 4 of what the Rushmores would be. From Russia with Love for me.
Do you know what?
You're going to go Argo, aren't you? And that's fine.
I actually think I will do. Like, I really love North by Northwest, but it's been a while. But none of these, and again, I've not seen From Russia with Love yet. There is that tense moment with the drop in Mission Impossible, but Argo's freaking plain. And that fact that it's real as well, just, yeah. So I think I am going to go Argo for this one.
Yeah, I know you've got I like that movie. You love that movie.
It was an interesting view, that film.
Frank Torres says Nico is right. Hitchcock never loses on Twitter. Listen, I don't proclaim to know a lot, but I know Hitchcock doesn't lose on Twitter. It just doesn't fucking happen. It's crazy. All right, AJ, let's get into our list, my man. What is your number 10?
Right, in at number 10 for me. So came across it this week while searching. I was more biopic guy, so I apologize if you're thinking, where's this film? Where's that one? Came across a film I heard quite a lot about, and I know it's absolutely huge in the Latin American department. And I'm not saying that's why I put it in, but I was quite interested to learn of this young lady, Jennifer Lopez as Selena.
But edutain me. I'm
not gonna lie. From this is a young lady whose life was taken way too early by, believe it or not, none other than the president of her fan club. A lady who was extorting her left, right, and center. But it's the story of a young lady whose dad was part of a trio called El Ninos before. El Ninos. Ninos? But anyway, yeah, he had started his career. It didn't actually work out for him, but he always had a passion for music. And you see it that at a young age, he's playing the guitar and his daughter gravitates towards it. And from there, he believes that he's going to turn his family into a band. So his other daughter is a drummer, son's a guitarist, and it just builds into this huge sensation. And what really impressed me about this story is they're Mexican Americans, right? So they actually live in America. She lives the American life. Her Spanish isn't that great, but she released tune after tune after tune, hits in Spanish, and people loved it. Yeah, and so Jennifer Lopez is playing Selena, and one of the weirdest moments that I saw in this film that really just blew me away was she's actually going to perform at the Oscars or the Grammys. I think it was the Grammys, and she goes into a supermarket, and it was a very similar to a Pretty Woman moment where this woman's like, "Oh, excuse me, miss, like this dress is $800," and just like, "No, we'll try it anyway." She goes to try it, and as she's doing that, this like janitor walks by and is like, "Selena's here." He goes into the back and starts like proclaiming it, and before you know it, the entire Latin American community have huddled around this store, and everyone's like, "Why are they here?" And they're like, "Selena's here," and they're like, "Who's Selena?" But like, as much as she was unknown to the mainstream America, if you were like North America. If you take it to another department, this girl was absolutely huge. She I'll be honest. I watched the Aaliyah movie, which was not. It was okay for the limitations they had. they made it happen. It was not a fantastic movie, but they made it happen with what they had. And you know, Aaliyah was like a huge icon to me growing up, and that was always a sensitive moment. This was just as big, if not bigger. This girl was absolutely huge. Like, even if you don't appreciate, I know you're not a big J-Lo fan, and you may not appreciate.
But listen, J-Lo's done me some wrong personally in the past, but
Yeah.
which you're aware of. But yeah, aside from that, I've got no.
Yeah, but like,
with her.
honestly, I was so fascinated to see how somebody was such a phenomenon. And I was pretty like, I'd heard of the movie. I had no idea what an impact this girl had on a community. She was only 22 when she died. Like, she, you know, this
Oh,
was
shit. So very Aaliyah-like, huh?
Yeah, 22, 23, like nothing bigger than that, but huge impact. And for that, I had to like just give it a mention. The film's an easy watch. It's not the greatest of acting or anything like that. Okay. But yeah, great story.
Interesting.
With a sad ending.
It's very funny, actually, just to go on a very, very quick tangent. You remember when I went to Mexico last year to film The Bull Sharks?
Yeah.
So when we were coming back from Cozumel Island, like back to the mainland, they had this, I hope I'm not being culturally insensitive here, but it was fucking god-awful local music. And like, it's not about, this, it didn't, I mean, I speak Spanish. It was nothing to do with, you don't speak the language that. No, this was just shit, all right?
The thing is, it's like you will, am I right in guessing, and I could be wrong, something like your Butlins performance, it's just never going to be great.
Bro, it was Feliz Navidad. You know that one, right?
Yeah, of course,
Prospero año y felicidad. You know that one, right? But it was sung by this guy who, we didn't know who he was at the time. He took himself very seriously. You know, it's like, Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Sí. It was like, wow, what the fuck? Like, and we got a photo of him, and you know, you had all the like locals, the Mexicans who are absolutely into it, and I was there with my t-shirt up, fucking creasing it, like, and I'm sort of looking around, going, I am pissing off the Mexicans behind me here.
Yeah,
but it's
you
like,
wouldn't want to do.
You do, but I'm like, have you seen this man? Like, he looks like a fucking Liberace fuck Santa Claus. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, it was awful. And then, oh God, what happened? So we went to the restaurant that night, and I showed the waitresses, like, I'm really sorry, but like, we got some death looks on the boat. Who is this man? And they went, it's Manuel Mijares. And I was like, am I supposed to know that? He's big star in Mexico, senor. I'm like, oh, he sucks, but okay.
No, but sometimes it's like that. Sometimes.
Hang on, we got some comments that have come through here. Mrs. Guilfoy's detention. Is this your first time joining us, Mrs. Guilfoy's detention?
It's Biffa.
Is it Biffa?
Yeah, Biffa. There was a message earlier where Biffa said, it's
Biffa, I love you, bro. I love Biffa with the name changes. Selena was a huge pop star in America. Mixed Memorabilia says, good shout. I believe J-Lo was J-Lo's debut film. Pedro Sancto says, J-Lo was great in U-Turn. Curious about Nico's experience. I mean, okay.
I don't know if it's disclosable.
I think this is so old school now. It's kind of like whatever, right? But
I mean, yeah, if the buy me a coffee.
Look, my mum runs a, I'd like to say, successful production and PR firm. And when back, this is 20 years old now. This story, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, this is old.
We were in school.
Yeah. So this is before my mother's company is what it is now, and it was like, you know, it was her and my godmother, literally the two of them in my grandmother's spare room, just starting up the company. And they've managed to land the gig for, bro, remind me, you probably remember this.
Week?
I think it was Fashion Week. I think you're right. They're doing the PR joint for Fashion Week. And J-Lo's basically was one of the big stars that was going to be there. Not on the runway, but AJ's frozen. We'll come back to him in a minute. But J-Lo was going to be one of the big celebrity attendees there. And she kicked off about the fact that she needed the right wardrobe to sit in the fucking crowd. So basically, my mum and godmother moved heaven and earth to get her this. it's proper fucking distasteful. But you got to remember, this is 20 years ago. They moved heaven and earth to get her an Arctic white fox, like as a covering. But J-Lo being kind of at the time, she was more of a plus size mamacita. And yeah, she AJ will be back in a moment once he's refreshed. She was a bit of a plus size mamacita, and she basically was quite sweaty Betty. And yeah, she decided to sweat on this rented Arctic fox, which was worth a fortune, and then chose to not pay for it. So I was like, cool, all the money in the world. I guess all that money doesn't buy you any class. Yeah, bitch. But very talented woman, no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah.
Bit for the Hobbit says, Nico, I saw a Jacques Cousteau documentary and I loved it. Yep. Good. Yes. Then the text in the house, South Park J-Lo. That's kind of my experience with her. Just Jackie Gomez says, Jennifer Lopez isn't the best actress there is. We all know this, but she did an amazing job as Selena. Too bad she hasn't acted like that again. It would have been a completely different acting career. By the sounds of it, yeah. Yeah. No, Pedro Sancho says, I want to be serenaded by Liberace Santa. Oh, man. Bro, I've got to find the video somehow. Like, I'm not going to do it during this podcast. I may put it up on the Twitter feed. Manuel Mijares in black satin slippers and a golden microphone singing Feliz Navidad as if he was singing Hallelujah at the Queen's funeral. It's like, you're taking yourself very seriously, big man.
Yeah, I hate when people go to, like, I am a professional, respect my craft. Like, relax. I don't care who you are.
Anyway, what's your number 9, bro?
All right, okay, sorry about that. Had a bit of a technical glitch there at the same time.
You did, but you're back. Let's go.
Right, in at number 9. This probably would have been higher if I could bloody remember the film, but I remember watching it as a kid and really being blown away by it. And I watched it a few times as a kid. Angela Bassett, What's Love Got to Do with It? This is a Tina Turner story. I freaking loved it when I saw it. It really exposed everything to me. I'd heard about Ike Turner. Lawrence Fishburne plays Ike Turner, may I also add. And
oh shit.
Yeah. It shows you the build up of Ike and Tina, you know, from anime to Tina Turner, the how abusive he was. Like, honestly, it took a while to be able to appreciate Lawrence Fishburne as an actor after that, because it was like, he was the evil mofo in that. Like, he brought out Ike, if you would. And I always remember it shows the turnaround of where Ike would always lay hands on Tina. And the day, thank you, Gavin, thank you very much. And it was the day that she decided to fight back, if you would. And she laid into that son of a bitch. She laid into him. And this is in limo. And they've both come out with scratches and scars and everything. I always remember that as one scene. And obviously it shows the break off of Ike and into the superstar that is Tina Turner. So I actually wanted to rewatch it, but I was trying to catch as many films as I would. It probably would have been higher because I remember this film being freaking awesome. Angela Bassett done absolutely amazing as Tina Turner, I remember as a kid. So yeah, it's one that I would highly recommend for people to have a look at.
I can't add much to a movie I haven't seen, but I'm a big Tina Turner fan.
Yeah, no, bro, if you are, give it a watch. Give it a watch. I was released I want to say 94, but I could be wrong.
So Fishburne had piled on the pounds by this stage. He was more buff than he was in Apocalypse Now.
No, yeah, well, he'd grown by that time as well, but yeah, no. Yeah,
he won't $1.05 anymore. Mixed Memorabilia approves your pick. What's Love Got to Do with It? Makes my top 10 as well. Very good. Yeah. Francis Lalonde says, welcome to the Thunderdome. Yes, what a great fucking shout. Den the Tech approves, AJ. Great film. Jackie Gomez also approves. Wow, I had completely forgot about that movie. I remember watching it as a kid. Fishburne traumatized me.
I'm telling you, he was bad. He was bad, bro. It's worth a watch. And I think it might be on Disney Plus, actually.
Ooh.
It may actually be a Disney Plus movie.
Ain't Disney Plus better since we got Star?
Like it was before. Let's be honest. It was just a geek out moment. You're allowed to appreciate your Star Wars and your Marvel.
It was. And now, then I'll be real. Speaking as a geek, like, they're very lucky that they've got Star, because boy, they need to up their geek game. Like the
No, but
last
I
few
mean, you
Marvel,
had the
the last
catalog.
few Marvel series have not been good. I'm sorry, they've
Oh,
been
fair play.
fine. And the new Book of Boba Fett, that is not good. It's fine. It's
You know
like
what they've got
okay.
me? You know what where they've got to have me from now to a while? I read up on it. I keep reading about it. X-Men 97, which is actually going to be a straight up continuation from the X-Men. So I'm like, I'm going to finally finish this series instead of watching like episode here, episode there, like as I did as a kid. I will go from beginning to end and be ready for X-Men 97.
Oh, they got my money when they said Moon Knight. When that trailer dropped today, I was
I haven't even watched it yet, bro. I haven't even watched it yet.
Do you know the character? Or is he one of the more obscure ones for you?
I'm aware of the character and
Bro,
look.
he's so fucking cool. He's so.
Am I correct in saying this was Kit's character from Eternal? Or is that a moon? Is that a different moon? Something. Who's Kit again? Who's he meant to be at the end of Eternal?
Kit Harington.
Yeah,
is her. I literally watched this 3 nights ago. Why am I drawing a blank?
You even knew who he was before the film came. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, I know. Which he wasn't. Eros is fucking Harry Styles.
I didn't say that. I never said that. I told you Eros is in it. I didn't tell you Kit was Eros.
I thought Kit was Eros.
We spoke about the moment of, are you sure you want to do this with Blake?
I've got a complicated family history. Why am I drawing a blank on this? Oh my god. What the fuck? Help. Okay, not movie fan.
I know Den's in the chat.
Den, help. Black Knight.
Oh, Black Knight. Okay, so, and the other one's Moon Knight. So, okay, I wasn't too far.
Not the same. Moon Knight, he's like, bam.
Thank you, by the way, Den.
Moon Knight's so fucking cool. You're going to love Moon Knight, AJ.
Your audio's a bit low again. So.
No.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Yes, Biffa, Eternals. I do not get the fucking universe. We're not here to talk Marvel. Eternals is good. Eternals is really good.
Listen, I've always said it. Eternals had me conflicted because I still think they took on the most basic of enemies. I don't care what you say. It was the most basic. And then
when you say the most basic, what? Icarus?
No, Icarus. No, before that, the whole reason for why we're staying on there, as I call them, the putties, they were just these little beasts that were like, come on, it was basic. Icarus was cool.
Yeah.
But I saw it coming. I saw it coming a million miles away, and that's what kind of bugged me with it. That was what bugged me. I was like, okay.
I loved it. I thought it was the most original thing Marvel have done in years. Special effects needed a little bit of work, but aside from that, I really had a great time with it. Your number 8, please, sir.
Okay, we were on Moon Knight. Disney. Oh yeah, we were talking about what's love got to do with it being on Disney Plus and the benefits of Disney Plus.
That's how we tangented. Here we go.
Yeah. I only say this, and I'll tell you why I completely done it, because I saw poor Pedro said, I'm completely lost on the topic. So I wasn't sure if it's like how we got here, what it was about.
Eternals is the worst MCU film, lol? No fucking way.
I think that makes sense. The first Avenger.
Way. Huh?
That makes
Thor the Dark World, bro. Thor the Dark World.
What, over the first Captain America movie?
Yeah. Thor the Dark World is proper shit. Nah, I love
this was the problem. I think there was too many characters. Sorry, we will cut the tangent in a second, people. But Jackie Gomez says it could have been awesome, but way too many characters. And I think that was the thing. It lacked depth of certain characters.
It lacked depth of character, but depth of story was fucking brilliant. I loved the explanation for war equals advancements in technology equals advancements in pharmacy equals population growth. That's why we've not been getting involved to make this planet fucking grow. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Gavin says 3 things are guaranteed. Francis Lalonde says first Hulk film. Sadly, that's not MCU. Otherwise, that would have definitely been down as the worst. Hulk with Ed Norton was awesome. Andy says first Avenger was good. Don't get your hate. I just got bored. I appreciated it more second time around, but I was very bored the first
Cap
time.
was a dork. That was the problem with that one.
Frank Torres, this is my heart speaking. My heart didn't like Eternals at all. I felt nothing, even with Gemma Chan, who I love. Fair play. Pedro Sanchez says Captain America 1 is one of the worst films I've seen. I appreciate that.
And I agree with Den.
We did say it. We said we're closing it. I'm just acknowledging people's comments the same way we've acknowledged your comment, then. So we're just spreading the love. And
good music films. AJ, you're number 8.
Right. In at number 8, Taran Edgerton as Elton John in Rocketman.
No, sir. That's a punt.
Fair play.
Right. My number 10. I'm Johnny Cash. Walk the line. Is that? Oh,
no, I was taking a sip of water there. That's a punt.
Okay. My number 9. Bradley Cooper and Gaga. A Star Is Born. Are we punting?
No, it's still on my to see list. So this is why it's
still on your list. Listen, I know this movie's been remade infinite times. I know that arguably the version with Judy Garland is probably better. This is the one that's closer to what I've seen. So, like, I'm just going to go with this one.
Have you seen the others out of interest?
No, which is why I'm saying this is the one which is closer to what I've seen. Listen, I think it's a little bit overblown in the way that people are, it should have won the Oscar. No. But is it fucking good? Should it have been nominated? Yes. It's really good. Gaga, who I thought was fucking useless in House of Gucci, fight me, I don't care. But an Italian girl who goes over the top with the Italian, well, I question you now. But was she great in this? Oh, yeah. She was fucking awesome in A Star Is Born. Like, goosebump-inducing awesome. And it's, you know the story, don't you, bro?
Yes. Yeah.
Singer on the rise, one on the fall, paralleling life. They happen to be in a relationship. It's not particularly deep stuff, but the gravitas that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga bring as a duo to this movie is quite something. Also, I'd like to say, Bradley Cooper was robbed of an Oscar for this role. This should have been his role. He was so good. And yeah, Jackie Gomez is with me here. Great movie, but overrated. This is why it's my number 9, Jackie. It's good, but the way people are like, oh my God, best thing ever. Best movie of the year. No. But a very good movie. Pedro Sanchez says, out of the recent biopics, I preferred the James Brown one. Did you guys see it? Was that the one with Chadwick?
Chadwick Boseman. I must admit, I haven't seen it. I must admit, here's the thing. And I did want to watch it to give it its full credit. I remember seeing a small moment of it around the time, just before Chadwick passed, actually. And I just thought he didn't have James Brown's moves. And I thought, if you're going to be James Brown, you need to know what you're doing. And that always kind of dented me. But I would like to actually see the story of James Brown. So that's as much as I can talk on it, to be honest. I do need to see it properly.
Frank Torres says, if Star Is Born makes the Rushmore, you'll have to put the year next to it on the poll. Yeah, good shout, Frank. Thank you for that. Good idea. Gavin Mann says, A Star Is Born is honorable. Watched it for the first time at the end of last year and enjoyed it. Couldn't make a lot out of what Bradley Cooper was saying, though. He was very country accent, man. Very down there. Mixed Memorabilia says, interested to see if Gorinda Chadha Bruce Springsteen inspired film makes anyone's list. If you're talking about Blinded by the Light, I did not care for that film one iota. Pedro Sanchez then says Bradley Cooper was the fittest alcoholic I've ever seen in that film. His speech is great, but physically just couldn't buy it. That's very true. Den the Tech says Ray is my number 1. AJ, it's still on me, isn't it? So that was my number 9. My number 8. Why have I got a reverb coming through from you?
I have no idea. Is it gone? Is it still there?
Sound check 1, 2. Nope, still there. Guys, can you let us know in the comments if you can hear my reverb? And if you can, then we'll just refresh our pages quickly. I think it's gone. It is gone. Very good. Yeah, my number 8, señores y señoras, buenas tardes, buenas noches. I've got to bring in Disney's Coco for this one. I love this film.
Doesn't feature your friend that you saw singing Feliz Navidad, though.
Manuel Mijares. Actually, do you know what? It wouldn't fucking surprise me if Liberace Santa was in it. Because apparently he's a massive star. Like,
no, wait, I bet you any money he is probably one of the characters in the Spanish dub version of it. And here we are just taking the piss out of this dude.
Bro, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to fucking Google check myself on this. Here's Manuel Mijares.
Before I go any further, awesome film. While you are fact checking it, it's an awesome film that I stumbled across. And again, there's one thing that is a certainty. Pixar do not fail. I mean, they can. Toy Story 4, here's looking at you. But Pixar tend not to fail. You know, they deliver some great stuff.
True story.
This was one of those films that, again, I like to be educated, and I like it even more when it just happens to be in a cartoon. I was like, yes, this podcast. Never heard of it in my life. I was completely clueless to it, and it took me away. And such a touching movie at the same time.
Bro, so touching. Also, I can confirm Liberace Santa is not in Coco, thankfully. He's not that big of a star in Mexico. But now this film's wonderful. It really, do you know what? It really opened my eyes up to a culture I was not that familiar with, to the degree where obviously everything in movie is fantasized quite a bit, especially in a Pixar movie. But it gave me such an interest that I actually went and researched some of, the intricacies and the cultural references. And I educated myself a bit on Mexico, something I wouldn't have done without Coco. And then when I actually went to Mexico the following year, aside from going to everywhere I could, going, where the fuck can I watch Lucha Libre? And they're like, it's COVID, man. There's no Libre going on. I'm like, fuck. Because you got to watch that shit when you're in Mexico. They weren't showing it, sadly. But I was like, I can see things. I can see like the Inca skulls. The Inca is Inca. Inca in Mexico. I can see the Inca and the Mayan skulls. I can see these little, color palettes that were used in Coco. Like all of a sudden, that movie became very in your face in the best possible way. Nice. The movie's fucking wonderful, and the message behind it about, despite the fact that you've moved on and you're not in, our world anymore, you live on through the power of music, sounds cheesy, but through the power of love. It's fucking wonderful. Pixar's so good. And I'm sorry, there's a scene, it's that blink and you'll miss it scene, but it's the one that jerks me each time. Proper tear jerker. That old kind of cowboy skeleton who gets forgotten about and he disappears for good. It's that, that's heartbreaking a bit. Fuck.
Yeah. This is and I tell you what, especially with some of these biopics, and I mean it's going to come up next in my number 7, but it's so true that some of these people are long gone, but their music has just been able to keep them alive for so long. And it was quite touching actually when you think of it. You're like, wow. Well, I was educated on quite a bit recently.
Pretty sure Lin-Manuel Miranda is in Coco, if I'm not mistaken.
Could be.
Pretty sure. Nate's in the house. Sounds interesting. I never saw it. Nate, you need to check that one out.
Disney Plus, bro. Just go for it.
It's a cracker. AJ, back over to you then, sir. You're number 7.
Okay. This is a funny one because the world gave it too much hate, and when I watched it, I was like, "You guys are being too harsh." And being a hip hop fan, this one had to make the list. All Eyes on Me, the Tupac story.
It's all you, my friend.
Bro, like, I think people were overly harsh on this. Now, I can't profess to know
Tupac with an iPhone.
No, but this is the thing. I didn't see the iPhone. Had I seen the iPhone, it probably would not have made the list. One thing that they did do that was totally unforgivable, and I'm still wondering, actually, should it have been bottom 3 for it? They had this guy playing Snoop Dogg, and I shit you not, I'm ready to see the guy try and do his best Snoop. No, Snoop dubbed himself. Snoop dubbed the dude. So you're like, why do that? Like, just no matter how shit it is, just let the guy try and do his Snoop.
There's only one Snoop Dogg, man.
Yeah, it was weird, but just for the story of let's go with, I mean, in my eyes, essentially anyway, the immortal Tupac, it was really good to see the come up, the story, and the other, like, behind the doors of Death Row. Like, I have a universe that has connected because I liked my hip hop, but I wasn't too deep into it. So there are 3 films that will all be mentioned. I know one's definitely on your list, right? That just give me a little more insight into the hip hop world that I wasn't too familiar with because I was more Capital FM at the time. I'm just going to be honest. As much as I discovered these greats after, I didn't get to know what was going on with them till slightly too late. Like, I knew California Love, and it was, oh my god, he's gone. Like, who? What? Tupac? Okay. Then I started to learn a bit more. This gave me a lot of insight into who he is. Obviously, there's the beef with a certain gentleman who will be coming up later on. The affiliations with Death Row, obviously a producer who we'll be talking about later on as well.
Suge Knight.
But Suge Knight, and that, I don't know. I actually refuse to talk because I don't want that to even come to who he is. I have nothing to say about the man known as Marion Knight. Like, nothing at all. By the way,
based on your pick, Dan the Tech says, hell nah.
Bro, I think it was very, very unfairly bashed. Like, as I said, maybe some people might be able to be like, they were talking shit here, they were talking shit there. I felt educated. It didn't touch me as much as someone else's story in there, but yeah, again, apart from the Snoop Dogg part, that killed it for me. I was looking out for the iPhone as well. I'm like,
where's that fucking Apple?
I was
like fucking Ezio looking for the apple of Eden. Like, where is it?
that would have been the ultimate diss. But it gave me a touch onto who Tupac was, a bit more depth, and I liked it. I didn't think it was as bad as the world proclaimed it to be. So that was.
What is that noise you've got in the background? Is someone chopping meat?
Do you know what's really annoying? I have a door, but I have a baby cage that's stopping me. Let me.
No.
Right,
leave it. It's fine. Leave it. It's fine.
Fair enough.
It's fine. Dan the text says it was a made-up story.
Fair play. I don't know. I know Jada was a bit touched in some area, like pissed off in some areas, but overall, I didn't think it was that bad. But if it was made up, then my bad. What I thought I knew of Tupac, I know nothing. I take it back.
AJ, you're number 6.
Right, my number 6. We punched it on it earlier. Walk the line.
Okay, let me explain just before you praise it why it was my number 10. I think the movie is lesser than the sum of its parts. I think it has moments which are gut-wrenchingly beautiful and also gut-wrenchingly sad. For instance, when Joaquin is sitting across the table from the T-1000, Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
And he's bashing his own son. That's horrible. The part where he says to Jude, tell me you don't love me. She says, I don't love you. You're a liar, you know? And Cash being on stage, that's a thing of beauty. But while the performances, obviously from Reese and from Joaquin are, I mean, they're out of this world, the two of them. They're so good in this movie. The movie fell a bit flat for me in the third act. Like, where it really should have made me go, like, give me either an amazing feeling of elation, given that he's come through his problems, or maybe end before the problems get fixed. It kind of got stuck in a bit of an emotional limbo for me. It's like, for 90% of this movie, yeah, you've been feeding me kind of like this struggling, troubled artist story. Now, the beginning act I thought was fucking great with him and losing his brother, and all of that was amazing.
Heartbreaking, man.
Heartbreaking. Now, that's the tone of the movie you're building for me now. So that last almost 5 minutes of the movie where it's like, and they lived happily ever after, then they died a few months apart. It was almost like, doesn't feel earned.
With you, the ending was weird. Now, what?
Especially with his dad. The last time you see his dad, he's like, hey, they don't want to talk to me, daddy. They want to talk to their grandpa. It's like, he was just a dick to you a few scenes ago. Like, I appreciate, according to the movie chronology, time has elapsed, but you've
Can we see how that fence was mended?
Yeah. This is why I'm saying the happiness wasn't earned. It was just like, and he kicked drugs, and they married, and they lived happily ever after. Like, really?
Yeah.
Relationships are not that simple. I would like them to be, but they are not. Like, the whole daddy's fixed and now daddy's happy with grandkids is like, I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm saying to show that side of it in a movie, you had to build me up to it after you've given me literally 90 minutes of troubled artists.
How familiar are you with Johnny Cash's music?
I mean, I like Ring of Fire.
Fair play. I wasn't. And I feel that also made a bit of a disconnect for me. Like, you take something like All Eyes on Me, and there's a couple of tunes you can head bop to and what have you. Here, I was like, I don't know much about him, but then I started to hear the stories, the influence, what it had for people in prison, and it was nuts. Yeah. And it started to build for me. So it had this great story. Then it was this connection to the world, and I was like, I feel alien, but I started to take it on a bit more. And like when he decided to perform live in a prison and stuff, and that's where I was like, cool. But I can also agree with you that it was like, okay, and we're here now. So it was weird. It was weirdly paced. I compared it to the other biopics. Obviously, this is a strictly biopic, and it was middle ground for me, and that's why I had to keep it as 5. Like
5,
probably
6
even. Had I reckon had I had a chance to rewatch What's Love Got to Do with It, there may have been a swap. Or it's one of those things. It hit better than All Eyes on Me for sure, and it wasn't lower tier, but it. Within a few other movies in there, I think the performances also help create.
This is what I'm saying. Like really the sum of its parts, like the movie is lesser than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, the narrative could do with a bit of filling. That I will agree
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because it had moments that were like, oh, good. More of this, please. This is fucking great.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Those moments doth not a movie make, for lack of a better saying. You know, a movie has to be totalitarian. You can't. I mean, no, it doesn't. No movie's perfect. But if you're going to deliver me something, I'd like a bit of continuity with that little some, which I'm enjoying. You know. And here was that. You gave me something and you took it away. You gave me something, you took it away. Which is weird because I like James Mangold as a director. I thought Ford versus Ferrari was a really good film. Logan, I'll take or leave. Yeah, I said it. Come at me.
Which one?
Logan, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Andy Hart's got one for you, AJ. AJ, if you haven't seen it, look out for a documentary called The Defiant Ones about Jimmy Lovin and Dr. Dre.
Thank you. I will add that to see this.
And Gavin Mann adds to that, it may be on Netflix.
I think it is. I do believe it is, but I'm just adding it to the list.
Pedro Sanctos, I've seen your message. Hold that fire, my friend. Right, so that was your number 7 and 6, right, AJ?
Yep, that's correct, sir.
So, bearing in mind this is about musicians, doesn't have to be about music. Haha. Where am I going with this? I'm going with the lowest budgeted film ever to make $1 million. In Spanish, but American distributed by Columbia, made on a budget of under $8,000. Under $8,000. Picked up by Columbia TriStar, retouched for about 200,000, marketed for a few million, and ended up making $1 million. And this year got inducted into the American Historical Society as a movie that needed preserving for its great aesthetic and cultural. I think they use the word significance because that's how.
Can I add, actually, Selena was added to that as well for cultural significance.
Oh, wicked. There you go. So this is Robert Rodriguez's first ever film, El Mariachi. What a beautifully simple, fucking amazing film. It's so simple. It's literally Case of Mistaken Identity. Let me paint the movie for you, right? You've got this badass gangster. This is opening scene. This badass gangster coming out of prison called Azul, Manuel Mijares, Azul. Azul come out of prison. Hey, I want to listen to Manuel Mijares singing Feliz Navidad. This is bordering on the racist now. I'm gonna stop. This
possibly bullying, but anyway.
Okay, no, that guy, he invites it on himself if he's bullied. All right, I'm sorry. Fucking gold microphone and black satin slippers. Like, at least Elvis wore blue suede, for fuck's sake. This guy's like, no, I want to do black satin because I'm Manuel Mijares. Anyway, so this badass gangster called Azul gets out of prison. He's on a revenge to kill a drug cartel leader called Moko, who's the one responsible for him being in prison, right? Moko knows that Azul has been sent out of prison, right? And he's told all of his henchmen, go and kill this man before he comes to kill me, right? All Moko tells his man is that he'll be wearing black and he'll be carrying a guitar case. Because you know in Mexico they got ding 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 the mariachis. That sounded a bit fucking banjo strings there, deep south. But anyway, need the big old ears. But then of course we have our main character, the mariachi, who comes into town, of course wearing black, of course carrying a guitar case, and it's a case of the guys who are hunting down this so-called mariachi don't know what the guy looks like. One of these mariachi guitar cases is filled with guns. To quote Keanu Reeves, lots of guns. One of them has a guitar in it. You can see how we're going to have a confusion here.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. This movie is so good. I cannot tell you how good this film is. Just, you must track it down, AJ. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. You must watch it.
Is it accessible or is it? I have to go down the AJ route.
It's an AJ route for 1,000,000%.
Fair play. We'll leave it as that.
Yeah.
Cool. No,
Pedro
awesome.
Sanchez says El Mariachi. Andy Hart says Andy Hart with a question mark to El Mariachi. Andy Hart, have you not seen this movie?
Andy.
Did I get Andy? Pedro Sanchez says, I like Desperado better than El Mariachi. Possibly. Oh, AJ, important side note. So Desperado is this with Antonio Banderas is the sequel to El Mariachi.
Okay. Do you know what? I was thinking it was ringing a bell and I was trying to figure out what. Yeah.
And Once Upon a Time in Mexico is the third part to wrap up the Rodriguez Mexico trilogy. Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which has Antonio Banderas and Johnny Depp and I believe Selma Hayek. But I think people have come across Desperado with Antonio Banderas and he's so sexy. And people have come across Once Upon a Time in Mexico because they came across Desperado. Too few people have seen El Mariachi. And it's so good when you think that this movie was made. Bro, there are scenes in Hollywood that cost more than the fucking budget of this movie.
Credit to them for that. And I
Chris
love that.
Evans fucking saying the word assemble probably cost more than $8,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mixed Memorabilia says El Mariachi is a fantastic call. Frank Torres, Mariachi is a good pick. Andy Hart says, for the second time tonight, I'm recommending a book on a movie show. Rebel Without a Crew, Robert Rodriguez's story of how he made the movie. I've actually read that, Andy. Oh. I have actually read that, and I can agree it's a great read. Mixed Memorabilia says, have you guys seen the short film Chalino? Based on the true story of Chalino Sanchez, there needs to be a feature film on it. Jackie Gomez says, Desperado is better. And Andy Hart says, no, the question mark was during your intro, as in he is going to say El Mariachi. Ah, okay, I'm with you. I'm not,
he knew about the book. I was kind of thrown off there, yeah.
I'm not so cool. Pedro Sanchez says, Mariachi was good, great call. Once Upon a Time in Mexico was terrible. Yes, it was. So that was my number 7. Right. Zoomed in a bit there. So that was my number 7. Right. I think I've spent enough time with Coco and El Mariachi and Liberace Santa Mijares in Mexico now. I'd like to go to Ireland, AJ. And I'm going to talk to you about Sing Street. Now, this is a fucking film too. And I know the comment section are about to agree with me on this because I know this one's loved online. Bro, John Carney is such a fucking good director. This film, oh so simple. Husband and wife, marriage falling apart, have 2 children, older brother, younger brother, can't afford to keep the younger brother in a nice private school. They send him to this free, supposedly good Catholic school. It's not a nice school, as you can imagine, because according to cinema, Catholicism evil, right? So that's just cinema. You can't help it, right? Go figure, right? So he's sent to this evil Catholic school. He sees this beautiful girl, a young Connor. He sees this beautiful girl called Rafina. And in order to woo her, he says that he needs her to be in the music video that he's making with his band. Ensue the band being formed in order for him to impress her. Ensue, instead of him starting with cover songs, him writing his own lyrics, which are actually quite fucking good. This is what surprises you. It's like, fucking kid coming of age story, doing a cover band. Oh, kid can write, kid can sing, kid can play. Okay, I'm on. Talk to me. And it escalates. And you've got this beautiful parallel of his parents, who are his cause of him going to the school, and the cause of therefore by proxy of him starting this band, breaking up, while he cuts closer and closer and closer with every single lyric that's delivered to this girl. There's a beautiful poetry of juxtaposition between the two. And yeah, bro, I'm not going to say more than that, because to say more than that would essentially give away the whole story. But a story of brotherly love, a real story of divorce, you know, a story of a kid having his life changed and trying to find solace in something that makes him happy, bringing out one's creativity, fighting the man. You know, it's all in there, bro. It's a whirlwind of a movie, Sing Street. I cannot recommend it enough.
Cool. Awesome. It's on the list. Wish I can add. Haven't seen it. Have heard of it.
Pedro Sanchez says, haven't seen it yet. Putting it on my list. You must. Den the Tech says, never seen it. Nice one. Thanks, Den. Check it out, bro. You'll love it. Pedro Sanchez says, Catholicism worked well in The Exorcist. Yeah, it depends what point of view you take. Gavin Mann says, well done, Nico. Likes the Genesis jokes in this, just outside my top 10. Yep. Mixed Member really says, Nico, you mentioned Ireland, and I totally forgot about the film The Commitments.
That rings a bell, actually. I haven't seen it. Oh, yeah.
Drinky drink. And in a few weeks, it's going to be smashy smash when we're smashed. Pedro Santos says exactly the same thing when you said Irish. I thought of the commitments. You see, makes memorabilia in Pedro Santos. Yeah, I'm going to quote you like Puss in Boots here. Here you go. Antonio Banderas coming back in. He's like, our minds are already becoming one. AJ, sir, you're number 5.
So I can't remember who recommended this film, and I did go out to look for it. Girlfriend loved it because she was singing along, being the 60s head that she is.
Go on.
This is Gary Busey in The Buddy Holly Story.
This, I think, was a recommendation from Francis Lalonde last week.
I thought it was Francis, but I didn't want to quote a name. We're getting it wrong. But yeah, I believe it was. Awesome movie. Awesome movie.
Available on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken.
I done it the other way, but yeah, possibly it could well be, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I just okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I would. So I'm just gonna put my hand up. I heard the name, couldn't tell you much about Buddy Holly short of that. And to see the journey and the barriers that this guy broke in I think, I don't know if this is exaggeration, if it's true, the first white band to perform at the Apollo.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, stuff like that. And just, it was weird because what this film also done for me, as much as I'm taking in this story, it gave me little comedic moments because of these racial stereotypes of someone having a giggle because they were looking out for a black band and they're like, oh, you're Buddy Holly and the Grasshoppers. Even how they came up with the name the Grasshoppers, their music being so popular that someone tried to play it for the same song for 24 hours. Like, they broke barriers. Like, they really created a movement, and it was awesome. But to think that this guy is a name that's still spoken about now, and again, died in a plane crash at the age of 22.
Fuck, man,
bro, it's amazing what legacies some of these young people have created along the way. And the story is really, it's weird because sometimes with films you kind of get a bit of length, but you feel like, okay, it's going on, but you really are taken in by it. And that's what I kind of felt like. It's not overly long. I think it's just about 2 hours, but it squeezes everything in, from how they started to get recognized, traveling, taking it on, the group disbanding, him being solo. And it's really, I don't want to get into that, anything else on there, but there was quite a heartbreaking moment in that. And it's just believing and just going for it. I thought the acting was superb. It's a good film, really worth a watch. So thank you,
Andy Hart shares your opinion. Gary Busey was amazing.
Yeah, it's probably the best I've seen him in, and like, he's morphed. Like, he literally morphed into it. Like, you can obviously see a bit of Gary, but he became Buddy Holly. Like, I'll bring the poster up again. Like, it's there.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it was cool. He was amazing. He really delivered in this film. And another thing about it is, as much as there was no arrogance. He just seemed like a really down to earth, sweet guy. Like, honestly, the whole group, there was no tension. They disbanded just literally for anything more than, I just think it's time to go home. Like, some band members wanted to go home. He wanted to stay in New York. It was just that. Like, maybe there was other sides to it, but he just looked like a good guy. So, yeah.
Pedro Santos adds to that, kind of sad to see that there was a time when Gary Busey was promisingly good.
Yeah.
And then adds good double bill with La Bamba. So that was your number 5, yeah?
Yeah, over to you.
Get your finger ready on the pump button, please, my friend. My number 5, Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't even have a chance to bring the poster.
That's a punt.
I know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, my number 5. Punted. Right. Your number 4, please.
Okay, so I talked about the hip hop influences in my little trilogy, my own universe that's not connected because they don't even use the same actors to play Tupac or anything like that. But in at number 4 for me was Notorious.
Really, bro? You put this that high?
I really enjoyed this film. Enjoyed this film. Okay. It's one of those films that really caught me. Just
this on Disney Plus, isn't it?
I don't even know. I saw it ages ago. When I saw it was on Netflix. Yeah, it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there. And if it is Disney Plus, then yeah, Disney caught their rights and snapped up everything they could. But it was on Netflix when I saw it.
What else is new? The mouse says, "Oh, I like that. Give it to me." Notorious B.I.G. motherfucker.
I saw this meme the other day where it was like two little fairies. I think one was Hulu, the other one was Netflix, and they're arguing over who's got the better content. Like, oh, you've got this, I've got this, and then there's this big ominous shadow of like the Mickey Mouse ears and head, and they were like, uh-oh. And it was like so true. It's like Disney Plus is just killing it in that aspect. Yeah, I own you. I'll take you. I again, one of those things, learned about the hip hop, just saw the other side, and it just showed that whole building up of a war between him and Tupac, obviously. I really took in quite a bit of this, saw the story behind it, but more than anything, the part that really captured me, it's no spoiler that Notorious B.I.G. got fatally wounded. It's when his mum starts talking and she talks about his funeral, like the day of his funeral, and she's driving through, and you see the whole of New York jamming to Hypnotize. Like, they just literally celebrated this guy's life, and it touched me in such a way. And I always remember it, that my mum came in when I was watching this film halfway through, and she, just seeing that part alone touched her. And it's the build up to the film. I thought that the early part of the film I wasn't too impressed, and I started to really get invested, and by the end of it I was hooked in fully, and that's why it's always just stuck to me. Probably not the greatest film to a lot of people, but stuck to me a lot. So that's where Notorious falls for me.
I need to watch it because both you and Den the Tech, who says yes, this was really, really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, honestly. And the thing is, okay, was this the one that Anthony Mackie was playing Tupac in? I think it was this. Yeah, because he wasn't in the other film. And like it.
Did Angela Bassett play his mother?
Yeah.
So that's twice she's come up in the list.
Yeah.
And man, picked that one up. Jamal Wool, a very likeness to Biggie, Notorious. Pretty sure Angela Bassett plays his mother.
So you're very right there, Gavin. But it really, I was really taken in by this film. It really, as I said, it's a bit of a slow start to me at first. I was like, okay, where are we going? The more it built, I was like, wow, what a story. And again, like when you think of these young rappers, they were taken before they were 30. And I was like, he done so much, man. It really showed a lot.
Yeah. I was always more, I don't want to go Bloods and Cribs and all that, but I always lean more towards Tupac than Biggie. But
so
I get the love.
Especially because of good old LAS Loic Sarr from the Lycée, I was like, no, it's all about Tupac. It's all about Tupac. When I saw the wordplay that Notorious B.I.G. Chris Wallace could deliver, I every now and again I find myself being more of a Biggie man. I love Tupac, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I can sometimes I get that little edge because I just love the wordplay. Sit back and giggle at some of the shit he dropped. Man.
Can we get a comment up from Mixed Memorabilia here? Can I recommend the biopic? AJ, that's up your street. Can I recommend the biopic Bird, directed by Clint Eastwood with, AJ, this is less for you, with Forrest Whitaker playing the lead of Charlie Parker? We'll check that one out, Mixed Memorabilia. Mixed Memorabilia, you have to understand, your movie knowledge is vast. And that's coming from me and AJ. Like, the amount of recommendations you and the rest of the movie family on this list, on this stream week in, week out recommend to us, you do understand we also have to prepare the shows, right? It's hard getting all these movies in.
And that's the thing. It literally has to be like a solemn promise. And I felt so bad that it took me forever to watch Amores Perros. But it's like, while preparing, and it's like preparing for this and kind of getting into some of next week, because 7 days doesn't always permit you to get 10 movies in. It's like,
it really doesn't.
You know what I have to be very thankful
with
for?
This show, you better have some base knowledge.
Yeah. Do you know what I've sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. Like this morning, it was partially possible. Very thankful that these streaming services now have the download button. So when you're in an area that doesn't have signal, when you're on the ground, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing.
Where was it? Frank Torres says, hearing Anthony Mackie gets me thinking about Rabbit from 8 Mile with Eminem. You forgot 8 Mile?
No, I was doing 8 Mile is not a biopic. He's called Jimmy, not Marshall. It's not a biopic.
It doesn't have
the
to
way
be
I understood
that's
it.
how you did your list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I tell you something then? Which there's a movie that so we interpreted this list differently, which means that the one I had something ready to smash you with here, being like, you forgot it, ha ha ha. Like if you'd actually remember, if you'd done this the way that I thought we were doing it, which is fine, both of them are correct essentially. But I was gonna say like Marty McFly, Back to the Future. Because I have a feeling that's the sort of shit you would have forgotten.
Yeah, it's true.
He's definitely a musician.
Yeah, 100%.
He's definitely a musician.
Yeah. Yes, this is true.
And that's your film. Like...
There was a few films like that where I kind of played on it. Another one that was a potential, and I was like, no, it's not a biopic. Was Get Rich and Die Trying. I should keep quiet. But there were a few. I was like, well, this one plays
come on, you know I'm not bringing that in.
Fair play.
You
but
know
yeah,
I'm not
no.
Rich
Well played. I don't know if I would have gone for Marty. I have
a feeling you would have forgotten it, and I was like, oh, I know my boy, and that's going to be one of those moments on camera. But you went for a list differently. Fair enough. More porn in the chat. Removing the porn in the chat. Goodbye, porn. Then what have we got here? Does that Pedro Sanctos says, does anyone here share some love for Eddie and the Cruisers? Guys, discuss. Andy Hart says, I think it's the third topic I've recommended this movie for, The Man with the Golden Arm. Shit, you may have, Andy.
Do you know what? For that, I'm going to make sure I'm going to try my absolute best. I've got quite a bit to cover for next week, but I will try my best.
Yeah. Next week's one that needs some work. All right, cool. So that was your number 4, yeah?
And what was the other? Sorry, bear with me a second.
Bird.
Man with the Golden Arm. Oh,
Bird.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bird.
No, we had Bird. Oh no, it was
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
So that was your number 4, yes?
Yeah.
My number 4, I'm going to bring in Mr. Damien Chazelle directing Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons in his Oscar-winning role. Got to bring in Whiplash, bro. What a fucking movie this is. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I'm not going to lie.
Ah, bro. This is the film that... this, if you want... I know you like J.K., right? This is the one that won him the Oscar. Like, this is brutal. This is like if music did bullying. Like, you'll watch this movie and be like, what the fuck did Jazz do to Damien Chazelle? Like, did Jazz fucking drumstick his ass or something? Because, the movie's brutal. Like, brutal. Miles Teller is essentially... Okay, so J.K. Simmons is this renowned music teacher. Like, if he's the one everyone wants to train under, essentially, right? But, Spot's forgetting it. Spot's forgetting it. Well, I should hope so. It's a huge fucking movie. Spot's forgetting into his...
I'm talking about Miles Teller, not Whiplash.
But Miles Teller, you must know. Miles Teller was in the... you'll know him from Fantastic Four.
Sorry. I'm getting confused. I thought you said that was the jazz movie. I've heard the name. Yes. No, go on. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, bro. It is intense, this film. So Meitel is basically an aspiring drummer. He wants to be the best of the best of the best, right? And he wants to get into JK's class, and he gets in. And the way that their initial introduction is set up, you kind of think, okay, there's going to be a kind of mentor protege thing going on here, right? Because JK catches him. I can't remember the character's name, so I'm just going to say JK. JK essentially catches him, doing some drum work, completely solo, like in one of the practicing rooms. And he comes in and he gives him some tips in a really amicable way. Like, no, try that. No, break that one up, go there. And then he says, I want you in my class, come. And it's like, oh, dream come true. No, dream not come true. He gets into the class. The guy is the biggest sadistic bully motherfucker you can think of. And he does it all on the pretense of, I want to make you all better. His big saying, which is a brilliant movie line, no 2 words in the English language are more destructive than good job. Which, when you think about it, there's some truth to it. Because we do, especially as Brits, we throw that fucking word around. Oh, good job, sir. We throw that fucking word around like it's going out of fashion. So there's definitely some truth to what he's saying. Like, it's definitely, we're too quick to encourage for just shit that you're supposed to do, right? To quote Chris Rock, it's supposed to do that.
So this is going to put a bit of a smile on your face as well as Den's face. I've actually started the US Office, and I've seen the episode early on where Michael imitates Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Sensitivity training, fucking awesome.
Every time. No, we can't say that word on the podcast.
No.
Ignorant ass. No.
What do you want, Becky? Yeah,
bro, the mental anguish that JK puts Miles Teller, and here's what he does is really sadistic. He brings in another drummer. So you've got one day he hates this one day he hates the other one, and he just like he was fucking bipolar or something, just flips back and forth between who his flavor of the day is, and the other one is left to turn pages for the guy playing. So it's all sorts of sick. It's all sorts of sick. And the lengths to which Miles Teller pushes himself. I mean, I'm talking to the degree that he gets paranoid and starts using his fists as fucking drumsticks and drawing blood. You know what I mean? The anguish that this kid gets put through to achieve that almighty musical perfection. Bro, AJ, this is a fucking... This, if we were doing a top 10 movies of the 21st century, it's in there.
Okay.
It's in there with 3 billboards. It's in there with one, I'm going to bring up. It's in there with all. Nah, it's there. Whiplash is fucking incredible. Like, incredible.
I will be sure to give it a check.
Pedro Santos says Whiplash was a lesson in editing, and Bohemian Rhapsody was a lesson in how not to edit a film. Ouch.
Wow.
Dennis Cook says real life. Gavin Mann says phenomenal film. It's so intense on both leads play their roles to perfection. Frank Torres says J.K. Simmons in Whiplash is widely considered one of the best villains ever on some lists. I completely fucking get that. Completely. Andy Hart says question on Whiplash. Which character is the bigger dick? J.K. For me, that's not even a question. He's malicious. He's fucking malicious. Gavin Mann says Miles Teller's character is called Andrew. The drum off between the 3 drummers is it's evil. Like, bro, AJ, you will never see 3 people playing a drum and be like fearing for their fucking existence. Like, it's as if
and on Prime. No, I was just thinking that part of me wants to squeeze it in tonight, but next week's list is going to be pretty intense for me. I'll see, because I'm actually really taken in by this one. I'm taking the recommendations.
Bro, it's as if JK has set up, it's as if he runs his music class like a fucking gladiatorial arena, and he's trying to find the next Maximus Decimus Meridius. That's how brutal it is. Like, it's not physical, but the emotional grief he puts these guys through is like, Jesus, this is worse than fucking anything physical you could do to someone. Like, this is evil what you're putting these kids through. Like, wow. Pedro Santos says Whiplash is one of those perfect cuts. Oh, doesn't it just? So good. And then the text says, yes, it's not your number 1. No, it's not. And Jackie Gomez says, after this, I hope the Sound of Metal is on the list. Shit, no.
Sorry.
No.
Not for me. Yeah, it's just added to the list.
Mixed memorabilia. You have not seen Whiplash. Now I'm shocked. Oh, you're in for such a treat. I'll trade you Whiplash for Raman Ragav 2.0. Yeah, Gavin Mann is my tempo. So AJ, just search for gifts, like WhatsApp gifts, whatever. There's the first day he's got Miles Teller playing. He goes, start again, not quite my tempo. And then as he says, not my tempo, it gets progressively more aggressive. Not my tempo. Then he ends up throwing a fucking chair at him. Get on my tempo. And then you're like, I see where we're going with this film.
I'm not even lying to you. I'm desperate to see this film.
It's a short film.
I know it's a short film, but it's also another film's time. Like, if you're trying to squeeze them in, like,
what with the misses? It's one you don't have to squeeze in then.
I always feel like I'm playing catch up for the next episode. I'm like, I just tried to squeeze in as many. I tried to avoid the drinking. But yeah, I'll see. We'll see. If I can complete
your number 3, sir.
Right. We're either on the same ground or it's a punt, because I know there's
wait. Sorry, just before we continue. Jackie Gomez, I'm shocked too because it sounds great, but we haven't seen it. I'm sorry. Really sorry. Carry on. AJ, your number 3?
It's either coming up now for you as well, or it's a punt, because I know you have that energy. It's the third part to my trio of my AJ universe of hip hop. Straight out of Compton. And I know some people. Okay, fair enough. Over to you, sir.
My number 3. I hope you're going to punt me for this. If not, I'm going to be quite shocked. Amadeus. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't in the list of stuff to see because it did come up it came up a few times.
Given that listen, I am nowhere near fucking musically gifted, intelligible or knowledgeable enough to say who the best classical artist is of all time. I believe music, like with film, like with any art form, at the end of the day is going to be a matter of subjectivity. And I'm sure that you've got those fucking assholes who are like, no, Beethoven because this, no, Bach because that, no, darling, Chopin. It's like, you know what? I like Mozart. And I get that that's like saying, I like Shakespeare, what's your favorite book? And saying Romeo and Juliet. To that I say, nothing wrong with that fucking play either. It's not my favorite, but I get the love. I personally like The Tempest, but I completely get why someone would say my favorite Shakespeare is Romeo and Juliet. Likewise, I completely get why someone would say my favorite classical music is Mozart. It's easy to listen to. It's really nice. It makes you feel good for most part, unless he's doing like Don Giovanni. Then it's dark as fuck.
Sorry, I just got a bit distracted. I can hear this intense cheering outside my house, right? As you know, I'm very close to Fulham Football Club. And I was like, what is going on? They must have won. They've just demolished Birmingham 6-2. So.
Lol.
This is through double glazed windows. Good. And it was just still going through. Like I was like, what is going on? So apologies for my slight distraction there. But yes, I will still listen to you at the same time.
Also, fuck Fulham.
What, did they fuck you guys over the other day?
No, I just don't like them. I'm Chelsea. Yeah, look, Amadeus, bro, it's the story about how Salieri basically, and this is if you believe this part of history, but it's how Salieri works his way into being one of Mozart's friends while playing him and making him essentially kill himself by working too hard. That's the whole movie kind of summed up into one, right? But it's the intricacies. It's the way that Salieri knows his audience and he knows how to play it safe. But he's also inherently jealous of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Where Mozart, he's a trailblazer of his time. He's pushing the boundaries musically. He's making things go so far that the audience actually doesn't understand what the fuck he's doing. The freaking, the king of Vienna. It is the king, isn't it? The king of Austria. He essentially yawns while Mozart's plays are going on because they just don't get the guy's genius. And what Mozart's trying to do all the time is trying to balance. Okay, I want to appease to an audience, but I'm not going to fucking sell my creative integrity to do so, right? And then you've got this brilliant kind of love-hate relationship with him and Salieri, where Salieri is trying to befriend him, but also stab him in the back at the same time. But he's also, while being completely jealous, he's in complete creative awe of this guy. It's like he's going through all the emotions. It's like, I hate you, but I fucking love your work, And he's kind of like, I'm the one who gave my chastity. I'm the one who settled for life of celibacy. I should be the one with that skill, not this dancing little fucking monkey. And by the way, Tom Hulce, who plays Mozart, plays him as an absolute juvenile fucking monkey, and the role is the better for it. And he's got this laugh that I think is only second to Jimmy Carr in the stupid laugh department. No, that's just real. Whereas Jimmy Carr goes, I can't do the Jimmy Carr laugh. Forget it. I'm going, that's it. Inward laugh, as he always says, right? Mozart's laugh is, and it's put on purposefully to trigger you and piss you off. But bro, it's beautiful. It's a period piece. It's beautiful while being incredibly fucking dark. Because like the shit that Mozart goes through is not pleasant. And celebration of the greatest classical musician of all time. It's a story for the ages, bro.
I will check it out. I will check it out. It's on the list. It's on the list. Okay, cool.
Frank Torres says, I remember the quote from Last Action Hero. It won 8 Oscars. Andy Hart says, thanks, AJ. Blues Hammered is top news. Lol.
Apologies. It was,
Andy Hart's an Aston Villa fan, so Birmingham losing is like sweet music to him. Gavin Mann says, think we're getting towards the business end of the list, so I'll throw in Cobain montage of heck. Great documentary blended with some crazy animation. Mixed memorabilia. What did you think of Immortal Beloved? I will let you know when I've seen it. Oh shit.
Do you know what? I thought that was going to be on your list. I'll be honest, I forgot.
Oh fuck.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. I blanked and I wanted to watch it again. I blanked and I wanted to watch it again because I couldn't think of where I was going to position it, and I just didn't have a chance to rewatch it. It was like the next film I was going to watch.
No, I forgot. Fuck.
I'm not gonna lie. I
forgot Sid and Nancy. God fucking damn it. The only two which I would take off my list would be the bottom two, Walk the Line or A Star Is Born. And they would definitely be taken off for Sid and Nancy, but then Sid and Nancy would be higher and I'd have to reshuffle my list and it would be a big mess. I'm pissed though. Like, I'm proper pissed.
I remember enjoying it, just can't remember enough of the film. And What's Love Got to Do with It stuck to me more in my brain. And I'd watched it a few times as opposed to the once I've seen Sid and Nancy, hence why I couldn't make my list. Truth be told. Truth be told.
Yeah. Truth be told. All right, AJ, so you're number 2, sir.
Right. Then we'll be slightly disappointed.
Lol, that's always fun. Go on.
No, because he's number 1. It was good. I toyed for hours on this, even a day. Number 2, Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
Did not rock my world, I'm afraid, bro.
So
I think it's guilty of being the same thing as Walk the Line. Movie is lesser than the sum of its parts. Jamie Foxx, much like Joaquin Phoenix, is a tour de fucking force. The rest of the movie's like, okay.
So this was what swayed me, because the barriers that Ray created broke down the first one of the first, if not the first, to own their masters, the addiction. And what I liked is the fact that they didn't shy away from his addiction. You know, some films will touch on it slightly. They really showed how much he was based on it.
But that's not unique to this film. That's why I was like, okay.
No, maybe, but I felt it was strong and powerful. What
fucking Dreamgirls showed that, for fuck's sake. This isn't something. Walk the Line showed that. This is not something unique to Ray.
No, for some reason, Walk the Line showed it, and he glamorized it, whereas this one was more hidden, I think, and that was to his family. There was something about it that struck to me. Okay. What did kind of kill me, and I think Jamie Foxx just blew it out the park.
Amazing. He was amazing,
and I think that was the other part that was just too much for me. Where I think I can kind of agree with you, and this is what I thought was the determining factor, and I'll get to my number 1 when it gets to it. It had good moments. It had great acting. The cast was stellar. But at a point, it just felt long. And that's what bugged me with it. It felt like, are we getting there yet? Or, you know, what's happening? I just kind of was eager for the end. As much as I was enjoying it, I wanted to get to the end. One of the films I always draw for when I talk about a film that's got length is Wolf of Wall Street. You're like, oh God, this is ticking on, but yeah, keep bringing it. This one, I was like, well, where's it going? But the story, the acting, everything in it just really, really gave me so much that I really toyed with it, and I was like, but I do have a preference, and that's why my number 1 is my number 1, and this is the number 2. I thought it was powerful as hell.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I thought the performance was powerful. The movie left me going a bit meh.
I think
it's subjective though, AJ. There's no right and wrong.
No. I think there was a lot as well for what Ray was able to achieve as an individual as well, which I wasn't aware of before. Like, it sounds wrong, but I was like, this was the human version of Daredevil. Like, the way he could literally hear stuff from a distance and appreciate every motion. I was like, that is what I appreciated a lot. But again, it's subjective. and we'll leave it there, really. But
Pedro Sancto says, I feel that Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison in The Doors deserves a mention here. Honorable.
Do you know what? If I'm honest, at one point I nearly made it worse. The Doors.
Oh shit!
I nearly did, but then I was like, do you know what it is? I
won't do that to Val Kilmer because he's my favorite Batman. That was your logic. Don't even lie. Don't even lie.
No.
Don't even lie.
The more I took it in, I was like, he's actually delivering what Jim was. The fact that I can't associate with it, which left me distant, is what.
You're not a Doors fan?
Apart from Light My Fire, I couldn't tell you fuck all about Jim Morrison. I'm not going to lie.
Swear down.
God's honest truth. God's honest truth.
Riders on the Storm?
Bro, I've seen the entire film. I saw the entire film. I could not tell you another song.
This is the end?
I'm telling you, no. I've seen it from where he started to where he died. I did not know anything about the Doors.
Damn.
And then I was like, it's a crazy journey. And that's why after a while, I was like, you know what? It was between worse and I was like, maybe 10, but it just didn't make it. So technically, I'd agree it's honorable. But at one point, I was like, would it be worse?
Andy Hart says, really thought one of you would have said Mo Better Blues. Guys, listen, just go through this chat here. The amount of awesome recommendations from you lot, we had to fit them into 10. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. But that was your number 2, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, my number 2. No one's going to be surprised by this. I've waxed lyrical about this movie before. I'm bringing in Damien Chazelle again. And I'm bringing in my favorite movie of the 21st century. Yes, hate me, blah, blah, don't care. La La Land. Of course, I'm going to fucking bring up this movie. Of course. Read the title, Here's to the Ones Who Dream. I have talked so many times about this movie. You all know my opinion of this film. You all know I think it is a fucking wonderful take on two struggling individuals who arguably make the wrong choice to get to where they want to get in life. And that's what is so devastatingly sad about it. And I do not want to hear shit about, it's a movie about two pretty white people. Why should I care? First off, racist. Secondly, that statement lacks a bit of nuance now, doesn't it? There's a lot more to that movie than two pretty struggling white people.
I can't actually believe that's an argument to some people, but
bro, it is. I've heard it on many other podcasts. La La Land. They don't know how to dance. The singing wasn't good. They used too much auto-tune. It's just about two pretty white people. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
That's deep. Irrelevant of what your feelings are towards the film. That wouldn't have been my go-to argument. Like, no. because we're in the woken era, like one of them had to be black. Like, just stop it. Like, where are we going with this? Exactly. Where are we going with this?
Like, what makes me laugh so much about when people come at me with La La Land here, I'm like, okay, why? It's always the same shit, which you've heard me say before. Like, oh, the hand and the stage direction wasn't proper. And oh, they used auto-tune. It's a fucking movie. It's not a stage play. This is Ryan Gosling. He can dance. He can sing. He can act. He fits the bill. End of. Like,
I enjoyed La La Land. I appreciate that it may not have been the ending I wanted, but that's a movie. It doesn't have to fulfill my every need to be a good movie.
But it's not just good. It's fucking great. Right, guys. Just before we move on to both of our worsts, what I would like to do is, this was a suggestion from Den the Tech, Cook45. Could everyone please, starting from now, drop not your top 10s. We've changed the rules now, remember. I don't want to know what your top 10s. I want to know what your Rushmores are. Let me remind you the rules of building a Rushmore. 4 quintessential, diverse, must-see movies of this genre.
You can do diverse, but if they're your must-sees, they're your must-sees, guys. Let's be real. It's the same way we have our personal. We don't make our bottom 4 like, oh, these are diverse. So throw in your top 4.
No, of course. I want to know what your Rushmore of movies about musicians are. Drop them away. And Pedro Sancto says top 10 Denzel films would be a great topic for a drunken episode. Yeah, well, see, here's the problem, Pedro. I think it was on season 2 or 3. I'm just being honest with you. Way back on season 2 or 3 of the podcast, we did a top 10 Denzel Washington movies. I got no problem revisiting my man because
like he's got enough films that it could be there, but like, yeah, I you know. Yeah, I would eliminate a revisit just to watch a new Denzel. Like, there was never a problem with Denzel Washington movies. Like, yeah,
Nope.
That's the silver screen favorite there. That would be a tough one to be a drunken episode.
It's so cool the way he's this my man, and then he does that. It's fucking awesome. And then he's drunk in flight, just like I am now. I'm very worried about the way this is all going to go. I've decided, based just on this fucking comment and chat that we've had tonight on the show, the amount of movies that people are recommending on something I thought I was well versed on, to show that I'm not just going to have shot glasses next to me. I'm going to have a bucket next to me, because I think my ass, no, I legitimately mean it. If we play the game honestly and people are tuning in to see us get fucked up, I think we're going to be smashed by the end of the night.
One of us is lucky enough to work from home. The other one is going to be fucked. I may book the day off. We'll see.
I think that's necessary.
It may well be. It may well be. Right. Okay, guys. So as Nico said, please do submit your top 4 at this moment.
Right, AJ. What is? Have we just lost AJ? AJ in the house. Is AJ there? AJ. We have lost AJ. I shall remove him and wait for him to come back. Hi, everyone. It's just Nico now. Please, as I said, I'm waiting for a few. Okay, Pedro Santos has given me 10. Then the text given me 4. Let me star those. Thank you, AJ. You are back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Apologies. Weird internet
connection. Me 4. No, that's all good. Shit happens. Joys of technology. Right, AJ, your worst, please.
So this, and it's not based on the star rating, because I actually debated where this should go, but it does have a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
it has an actress that I'm quite fond of, being Zoe Saldana. I
love Zoe.
The Nina Simone story.
And David Oyelowo was in it. Holy shit.
Yeah. So as I said, I've seen the Aaliyah movie, and I was just willing to give that a pass based on the limitations that's there and the fact that the girl who plays Storm's in it now. But it had its limitations. The casting was really bad, and they weren't allowed to use the music. I understand that this film didn't have the support of Nina Simone's family, so that will have some challenges to it. What troubled me is Nina Simone is a pioneer in many, many ways for so many different stuff. And, she was an activist. She done this and she done that. We are seeing a film post all of that. So we're seeing the later stages of her career. And it just felt like a major letdown. And what also made it worse is the fact that what we're touching on is that some of the stuff that she was famous for gets mentioned. You get this brief little flashback, and then you're back into your current, the current timeline of this film. So it felt messy. As much as I love Zoe, I don't know if she was the right pick to play Nina Simone, and she's done this weird face pulling thing to like kind of drop her lip to possibly try to portray Nina Simone in a bit, and it just felt weird. It felt unjust. I appreciate Nina Simone post all the fame that it was known that she was bipolar. It was just, I'm not to say there wasn't a story to tell, but if you are going to talk about such a legendary character, this wasn't the way to do it. Like that. We're talking about the closing part of a film to say, well, it kind of like what you're saying about with Ray or Walk the Line, where you're left kind of open-ended. It was just a weird spot. It was just like this film that's trying to give us this feel, but you just can't associate. You can see she was a bit off the handle at certain times, so far as like slicing the person's arm for talking during her performance in a bar in Paris and stuff like that. But it just didn't give me the depth, and especially because I'm on a biopic tour with all of these that you saw, where I'm getting the depth and understanding of a character. If I was just seeing a troubled artist, maybe I might have appreciated it more. But you're giving me an iconic figure such as this and giving me nothing. I was really disappointed.
Okay. Fair. Well, okay. So my worst, I'm afraid, bro, it's the punt from earlier, but not the one you expected. My worst is Rocketman. And yeah, I know. To a lot of people, it's blasphemy. This movie just did not work for me. Nothing to do with Taran. I love Taran, and I thought Taran taking on this role was great. my understanding is he did the singing for this, and he did training, and Elton John actually like said, yeah, this kid's fucking on point. He came to some of the rehearsals, so it's nothing to do with the performance. I did not like the way the music was used in this film. It annoyed the shit out of me.
I can understand that. So I think there's a punt there earlier, so we know what my number one is, but I won't mention it just yet. But I remember being in love with my number one, and people said, "Your number one, Rocketman, is what your number one wanted to be." So I'm expected to be blown away. This is what a lot of people have said. Yeah.
You mean your number one wanted to be Rocketman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So exactly that. It's like Rocketman is so superior. Fuck it, screw it. We were at that point, like Bohemian Rhapsody. Everything was, Rocketman is so much better, and this, that, and that. And I saw the beginning, and I saw this weird. How can I say? It's this fact that we're taking Elton's mind to create a song. So in the beginning, it was this weird bit of him just singing. Was it "The Bitch Is Back" or something? So we got this whole sing and dance, and then we're back into reality. I appreciate it for the different approach it took. And once I had to remove myself from it to appreciate the film. No way near as good as my number one. And I was livid when the more I watched it, I was like, no. You'll make the list because I appreciate the Elton John story. I think Taran done amazing. But again, it couldn't make top 5 for me. It just wasn't in that realm.
Yeah.
It was good, but it had many flaws. Many flaws.
Yeah. And those flaws made me dislike it inherently. Despite my overall love for Taran Edgerton, it's one of the Big Tone's in the house. What up, Big Tone? Oi, hello, mate. And Mixed Memorabilia says no 8 Mile, anyone honorable. And AJ and I over the 5 seasons have brought up 8 Mile so much.
And again, because it was a biopic, it's not Eminem. It's loosely based on Eminem, but it's not the real Eminem story. Hence why I pulled it back.
Right. Yep. And that's the way you were going with it. Sure. I toyed with 8 Mile, but I was like, no. Yeah, bro. Rocketman, just not for me, I'm afraid. Could not get on board with it.
Do you know when we talk about weird endings? I found it very weird to end it just on "I'm Still Standing." Like it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, but and I like the little montage that showed that him and his friend have, they've been really close and whatnot. I appreciated the story, but it had holes, man. It was nice. It's a good story. I think I should give it more positives than that because it is on my top 10. As I said, I had to pull away, and once I was able to pull away from the way they're telling the story, I appreciate it a lot more. It's a known fact that Elton had to go into rehab, and the fact that he's telling the story and retelling it, and the fact that Elton John is actually a producer to this film, he's being frank and honest with it. Obviously, he's hiding.
Now that's bullshit.
He's hiding bits. I'm not going to deny that, but he's being honest in the areas that he is. I don't think there's anything fake in it. But it was the weird bits, like even how, as you said, like. It's weird because as weird as it is to see those stories, you understand that that's where his thought process was. So when he's in the pool and he's looking down at the bottom of the pool and he can see a kid version of himself, he may have actually seen that. Whereas had I seen it in a film about someone else who's not involved in the telling of their own story, you'd be like, where the fuck did you get that from? Okay. And that's where I kind of learned to accept
your number one.
But my number one doesn't do that shit, does it? No. But again, at what point?
Let's bring up your number one and we can then talk about it.
Okay, cool. Right, we will do.
Your number one?
Oh, yeah, I'm first, aren't I? Yeah, sorry, my bad, yeah. Yeah. Right, my number one is Bohemian Rhapsody. So, go. What were you talking about? And then we'll, go deeper.
You really believe that Freddie went to his parents' house to say, "Mom, Dad, I'm gay. This is my boyfriend. Now I'm going to perform it live."
Freedom. That was creative freedom. That's what I'm saying. Okay. No.
I love this stuff. The logic is like,
no.
Well, the movie I like it, creative freedom.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Okay.
They wrote that into the film, and they can't go back to Freddie to see what was done or said.
They know talk to the other members of Queen who were there with him, though, can't they?
What is?
Yeah, right. Come on, man.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying Elton's parts were in there. This is what I'm saying is you can refer to Elton from Elton's visions. Even the way Freddie told the rest of Queen about being HIV, I don't believe that's the way it was said. The chronology of Bohemian Rhapsody is all over the place. I'm aware
all
of
over the place.
I'm aware of its flaws. However,
there's also this from Pedro Santos. This one, sorry. One of the main conflicts was Freddie wanting to release a solo album would break the band. In real life, 2 other members had already done solo albums. Ridiculous. And Pedro Santos then goes on to say, Bohemian Rhapsody is the epitome of when subject has too much power over storytelling. It barely depicts anything real. But then Frank Torres comes in and says the Live Aid shot in Rhapsody was great. Fucking great.
Absolutely amazing. And okay, that is a takeaway moment of the film. But what okay, it's a fictional story of Freddie's life as opposed to the real. So should I call it
semi-fictional, like semi-autobiographical?
Yeah,
I think that's the way to go with it.
Yeah. That film, for me, I always remember watching it, and it was a few friends from work. One friend had seen it at work, my old workplace, and was like, "This film's amazing. You guys need to see it." So there was 3 of us who wanted to see it, and we all went to one friend's house and watched it. And the takeaway about it, there was so much energy and the creativity and the sing-alongs behind it. And this is what tipped it for me was you can't help but feel warmed, and the madness behind each song. I mean, even bloody Mike Myers' character is completely fictional and it didn't exist, but it was hilarious in the way they done that. And it's as much as it's fictional, it still embraced the quirkiness and the arrogance and the cheekiness of Freddie, which I loved. You know, it gives you something that is powerful. I keep saying powerful, I'm gonna hold back on it, but I remember during lockdown being with my parents, and I was like, "You need to see Bohemian Rhapsody." And my mum was like, "This is amazing." Like, she was well into it. And that's what I felt. It gave a warming. It gave excitement. And that's what is that? Go on. Who's hating?
Pedro Santos. The Live Aid sequence was absolutely dispensable. Why recreate shot by shot a dubbed version of something we can all watch? Because it worked with the movie?
That's yeah, okay, but all right, you could do that, but then in the same vein, we can look at the "I'm Still Standing" from Rocketman, and they literally just superimposed Harry Edgerton on the Elton part, and that was it to insert it. Here, they literally recreated something as close as you possibly could, and that's the pleasures of movie. It's art imitating reality, and I that's one of the best I've ever seen it done.
Oh shit! Both Andy and what's you say Rocketman was better than Bohemian Rhapsody. I can't get on board with that. I'm sorry.
I honestly can't. I was official. I mean, and this is the thing. I heard this. I don't want to say noise, but I heard this narrative so many times from people. Oh, Rocketman. If you like Bohemian Rhapsody, wait till you see Rocketman. No. What? And I was actually let down because the minute I heard of this topic, I was like, "Now's the excuse to watch Rocketman." I was like, "You to Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah, come again."
In it, like, bro,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but I was like, "Come again."
Yeah, like Bohemian's in my top 5. It's not, and I love it, but listen, it's not my number 1. But I support everything you're saying here. Like, why recreate Live Aid? Because it was purposeful for him to have his ultimate comeuppance in the story, for him to, after everything he's been through, despite all of the tribulations and tumultuous tribulations that he's been through, to have that vindication instead of being called, a stupid packy, which he was called in the opening of the fucking movie, to have the entire nation cheering for him. It's such a great character.
The reason why people picked up their phones.
That's why you do that Live Aid recreation. Because it's cool. Because Queen are the greatest fucking band ever. They are.
That was another thing. I must admit, like, okay, I've had my Tupac and my Biggie on my phone before. After Bohemian Rhapsody, I started downloading Queen. Like, that's how powerful this was. I must admit, because of Johnny Cash's performance in the prison, I did download the album to hear. I wanted to just hear what the actual
the album was cool.
Yeah, That was cool. But it was for that. It wasn't for I need to hear these songs. Bohemian Rhapsody made me want to get the album. I was like, yeah, cool. And oh my God. The closing where you got the montage of this. Why have I blanked on the name of the song?
Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, Don't Stop Me Now. It was just freaking awesome. It was freaking awesome. Everything, the stomping.
I'm having a ball. Come on, fucking people in the chat, sing some Queen songs all together. Boom, boom, shh, boom, boom, shh. Come on, man. You can't tell me you don't hear that shit and you don't get those goosebumps about, okay, I need to go and listen to Queen now.
But this is the thing. Bro, and when you see the madness of them singing in the
Radio Gaga.
Yeah.
All we hear is ready. Come on, it's so good.
It was awesome. It was and that's the thing. It gave me an excitement, and that's why I was like, I can't deny it. No other film has done that for me. Yeah. In my list, no other film was able to do that. And it was the madness behind each thing. Instead of like using instruments, just getting people to stomp to do "We Will Rock You." Credits for Galileo, like higher, higher. Like all of this madness was just
Galileo, higher. Galileo. Can't go higher than that, Fred. So good.
Yeah,
I love
that. I'm sorry, and nothing else. I didn't get that in any other film. Like, yeah, and okay, we saw an astronaut at the bottom of a swimming pool. Okay, sorry, that beats Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, and now you guys have got me hating on a film that I actually had in my top 10. But yeah.
No, it's worst. Like, Rocketman's not good.
But when it's comparative, when you want to play the comparison game, I'm sorry, I will defend Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, I know its flaws. As I said, the
also Queen versus Elton. Queen's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fact.
It just is. It just is.
I walked into Hard Rock Cafe and I was like, "Where's Freddie's shit?" That was the first thing I said. I was like, "Where's Freddie Mercury's memorabilia?"
But yeah. By the way, Frank Torres has come up with a fucking great idea here. Where's it just gone? Forget Rushmore. We need a Rhapsody versus Rocketman deathmatch on Twitter.
So I remember the other day. What was it? Was it meant to be La La Land versus
Jackie, I love you. Love of my life in Brazil is so good. And that scene is so devastating because he's trying to convince his wife that was... They're all singing "Love of My Life" for you, darling. It's like, Fred, you're gay.
Yeah,
and I know it.
Yeah.
It's a gut wrench, man.
Yeah.
So, but I have seen the comments saying that it's a fucking joke that this movie won an Oscar for best editing. That is a joke that I will absolutely agree with everyone who's pointed that. Listen, as someone who works as an editor, that movie is terribly edited. It is not good. That is not a good film as far as editing goes. But as far as performances, it's part of feels, man. The feels.
The feels are all kinds of cool. So here's the thing. Do you remember you wanted to do Singing in the Rain versus Grease or something?
No, never.
No, I didn't know. No, just bear with me. You were talking about a supplemental vote from JT. I would be willing to omit Bohemian Rhapsody from a Rushmore to see if we could get that death match.
I'll ask him. I don't think Bohemian Rhapsody belongs on a Rushmore, bro. I'm sorry.
Listen, it's my number one, man.
I love it. Show
me the feels in any other one. Well,
it's funny you say that, AJ. I'm going to show you some feels right now, and I'm going to bring in my number one, which is Straight Outta Compton. This film gave me all the fucking feels. Oh my God, I love this fucking film so much. You know the love I have for this film. Bro, this on a movie about musicians, this is beating La La Land.
I know.
This beat La La Land for me. Like,
do you know the minute I heard this, I knew instantly this was your number one. Like,
it is. I think the story of the NWA is fascinating. How they came together is fascinating. The social bullshit that was surrounding them, that was driving their music, was fascinating. How self-aware they were about what their social difficulties were and choosing to turn a negative into a positive was fascinating. How they all fell apart was fascinating. Like, top to fucking bottom, This movie, I'm dropping the M bomb here, and I'm not talking about dropping the mic. This movie is a fucking masterpiece. I adore this film.
So I'm
sorry.
opposed to what
When
you're saying.
you fucking talk to me about the feels, and Ice Cube fucking puts his hand up and says, "Yo, Dre, I got something to say," and they play it live, and it's like, oh, this is all the feels. This is all the good feels. You can fucking take your Bohemian Rhapsody and I will raise you straight out of Compton when it comes to the feels musically. That scene when Jerry is still kind of on their side before Cube says, "And you're being fucked by a white boy," right? Ice Cube was so raw, man. He was so
Do you know what? I have to
when
admit,
the police have got them all fucking bent over and the guy has to come out and say, "These are my guys," and that influences. I don't care if it happened like that or not. It fucking worked musically. The way that Cube went, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to spin this shit. I'm going to flip that script. And now you've got a song that's going to be sung not for just a few years. This is going to be sung forever.
No, don't get me wrong.
Sing it with me, AJ. 1, 2, 3. Fuck the police.
Do you know? So the thing is that it has the feels of. There's a tad of heartbreak in the feels when it comes to. It's joyous with Bohemian Rhapsody. You feel it. You can feel raw emotion with Straight Outta Compton. That's the difference. I would never deny it. And again, this was another film I played for the parents during lockdown. I remember again, my dad embraces films, but if it's sci-fi or action, you'll hear him talk. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah. Do you see the bullets? When it has to hit, like, my mum kind of leans a bit more my way, or I lean a bit more her way. When it touches on reality, oh my God, those poor boys. Oh, they had to go through that. I don't believe it. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's terrible. Like, yeah, you know, that is exactly what came out from my mum when it came to Straight Outta Compton. Like, it's raw, man. It's raw. And can I? Anyway, no, I'll leave it post.
No, go.
I was gonna. No, it was just one of those things that. No Vaseline being one of my all-time tracks, very, very difficult to play when your girlfriend has the same religion as Jerry Heller. So we'll just leave it.
Pedro Santos, bro, again, I've got to disagree with you here. Fun film, but weird having the subjects produce the film. Ice Cube character could do no wrong in the film. Really? He trashed the fucking studio.
Again,
and that's just pulling something off the top of my head. And so why wouldn't you have the guys who this happens to telling the story?
Of course, but then a lot of people are going to say, "Of course we saw this, but where was the real violence between Dr. Dre and D Barnes?" And again, you know, they might say it was held back a bit. You know, not to say that it was completely covered, but like, yeah, okay, you showed it, but we all know it was deeper than that. We know it was rawer than that. But yeah, I still think it told the story. There's no denying the narrative that's in there. Like, it's there.
Mixed Memorabilia's got a great one here. Being a massive Eazy-E fan, my research tells me no one dare look at Eazy-E the wrong way, let alone put hands on him. There should be a separate big budget Eazy-E film. And you know what it's going to be called? 6'4". Cruising down the street in my 6'4". It's so fucking good. Bro, oh, I love this film so much.
Rightfully so. Man. Rightfully so. I believe it's a great film. Yeah, I know. Was it Pedro as well? I'd like to hear your reasons behind not being a fan of this film.
He didn't say that. He just said that it was, you know, the detail of having Cube produce it.
Oh, was that Pedro who said it? Someone else. There was someone else who said they weren't a fan of.
Who the fuck says they weren't a fan of Straight Outta Compton? Sound out now in the chat.
I mean, that was way up in the beginning, but I remember someone saying I agree with Pedro.
No. August Fernandez. Hey.
So August, I did give you a shout out, bro. We were, as I said, probably the wrestling show. I'm not going to cover it up, but your awesome beat will be used for that, bro. Thank you very much for that, guys. Dude, August, please type up your socials, guys. If you want to hear some decent rock music, like some really, really good rock music from an up and coming star and a long time screener, please do follow this young gentleman all the way in Argentina.
Fritos is an OG, man. He's an OG. Man. Yeah, Andy, top tier diss track in it.
I still think it's my best, followed by Hit 'Em Up. Like the end of Hit 'Em Up from Tupac is just raw, but I still believe No Vaseline just destroys.
No Vaseline's the one, man.
It just destroys everybody, man.
Yeah, No Vaseline is the one. Yeah, and Gavin Mann says, I know he's his son, but O'Shea Jackson Jr., wow, he was fucking great.
Yeah,
he made me believe he was his dad.
Yeah.
He really did. Help
it actually really
exactly
helped
like
create
him,
that,
but oh man. Yeah, Dre was presented as the biggest hero despite his woman abuse. That actually did annoy me too, that they didn't touch on that. That did annoy me too.
Yeah, it was the D-Barn situation. It's not great. It's not great, but we also know that there was no excuse for it, and it should have been high. If you're gonna show it, show it. Yeah, it was a Dr. Angel Dre. Yeah.
Dr. Angel Dre, literally. Suge Knight, evil. Dr. Dre, good.
Yeah, but to be fair, not entirely wrong on that either. But yeah, he wasn't just innocent in it all. Suge Knight, the man who made Vanilla Ice stop music. Supposedly, you've heard the story, right?
No, I have not.
So apparently, in the whole build-up of Death Row, this is why I do not talk about this man in any way. Apparently, took Vanilla Ice to the top of a building, had him by the legs, hung him upside down, and was like, "It's either you quit or the next time I bring you up here, I'm dropping you."
Oh,
yeah. This guy is.
Oh,
yeah.
He didn't like Ice Baby.
No, he didn't want to stop. He wanted them to stop. He just didn't want to collaborate or listen. And while we're on the topic, who did he sample? Queen. Just saying. Under pressure.
Just saying. All right, let's read out a few people's Rushmores. Pedro Santos has given us 10 here, so thank you for that, Pedro. He says, number 10, Streets of Fire, 9, Whiplash, 8. Now I've got it. Got them all here. Yep. 9, Whiplash, 8, Phantom of the Paradise, 7, That Thing You Do, 6, Blues Brothers. I hate that film. 5, Tender Mercies, 4, Almost Famous, 3, Eddie and the Cruisers, 2, Inside Llewyn Davis, and 1, This Is Spinal Tap.
Inside Llewyn Davis? Is that the new film that's out at the moment?
Yeah, I believe so. I really need to see This Is Spinal Tap,
I've heard it's meant to be funny.
Then the text says, number 1, Ray, 2, Straight Outta Compton, 3, Bohemian Rhapsody, 4, This Is Spinal Tap. That's a good Rushmore, then. Frank Torres says, Bohemian Rhapsody, Straight Outta Compton, Pure Country, and 8 Mile. 8 Mile. Interesting. Okay. Jackie Gomez says, 1, Sound of Metal, 2, Tick, Tick, Boom. The only reason we didn't put Tick, Tick, Boom on, Jackie, is because we spoke about it, I think, last week or the week before. So just to keep it a bit mixed. But yeah, Jackie, I'm with you. Both AJ and I love Tick, Tick, Boom. My second or third favorite movie of last year. 3, Sing Street. 4, Frank. Andy Hart says, Inside Llewyn Davis, Pete Kelly's Blues, King Creole, and Cold War. Gavin Mann says 10, Patty Cakes. 9, School of Rock. School of Rock's a fun shout. Why not? 8, Scott Pilgrim's an interesting shout too. Scott Pilgrim versus
Yes, I remember you keep telling me about this one. Yeah,
Scott Pilgrim is a lot of fun. 7, Straight Outta Compton. That should be way higher. 6, Green Book. 5, Soul. Soul's a weird one. I didn't care that much for Soul.
I wasn't a big Soul fan. I've got to be honest.
I liked the first 40 minutes of it. Then when the cat thing started, I was like, kind of lost me. 4, 5 Soul, 4 Bohemian Rhapsody, 3 Whiplash, 2 Sound of Metal, 1 Blues Brothers. What is it with the Blues Brothers? I do not get the hype for that.
That's another film I've started, never been able to finish. Couldn't.
I don't get it. Mixed Memorabilia says Bird Amy. God damn it. Forgot about that. Bird, Amy, Sid and Nancy, Straight Outta Compton. That is an awesome Rushmore Mixed Memorabilia. What's Damado You? Says 1, Whiplash, 2, Sound of Metal, 3, Blaze, 4, Love and Mercy. Pedro Santos says Amadeus, Bird, The Doors, and Coal Miner's Daughter. Big Tone Aunt D says Ray, Walk the Line, Straight Out of Compton, and Lady Sings the Blues. And Mrs. Guilfoy's Detention says My Rushmore, Moraine's Black Bottom, Spinal Tap, Tender Mercy, Wild Rose. Nice. Nice. Got a few comments that have come in the interim. Let me just. Here we go. Big Tone says, "How you gonna hate Blues Brothers, brother? How you gonna like Blues Brothers?"
It has unlimited power, Ant.
We throwing shots at Big Tone. I love Big Tone. Oh, dearie me. Right, Monsieur AJ. Let's make this Rushmore.
It's actually a tough one, if I'm honest.
It is actually a fucking tough one.
I like this statement though, because when we are talking about perspective, this is imagine how What's Love Got to Do with It would be if produced by Ike Turner. Yeah, I get that.
He's got us there, you know.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
Great shout, Big Tone for Lady Things the Blues. That's in my top 10. Cool, and that was from Memorabilia. Okay. Man, can I add Blues Brothers to the same category as Shaun of the Dead? Films I love, but movie Mount Rushmore don't get.
Yes, you may.
Yeah,
you may add that. You may add that.
You
absolutely may add that. So I think that Amadeus should be on there because it's literally the musician. It's the only one between the two of us that actually refers to a classical musician.
Classical musician, yes.
So we've got that.
Mean on the piano.
So we've got that box tick for diversity. I'm ignoring your comment. We've got that box tick for diversity. How do you feel about having it?
Are you denying my statement?
I'm not acknowledging it. How do you...
Well played, sir.
How do you feel about having Amadeus on there?
I've put it down so far. It's always hard when you haven't seen. Like,
if I'm honest, by the way, fun movie trivia fact. Sorry to cut you off. Fun movie trivia fact. Tom Hulse, who plays Amadeus, was also in Frankenstein with Kenneth Branagh and Robert De Niro, and also voiced Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney film. Boy can sing.
So, cool. I will take your word on that. Yeah, been a while since I've watched Notre Dame.
Pedro?
Right, here we go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's just so very exciting.
Neither of us get the Blues Brothers.
And I don't think they've got enough soul to be the Blues Brothers either. Like, just personal opinion. So I'm gonna run something by you because it's very hard.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off, man. Sorry, we need to accommodate Jackie here, who is rightfully calling us out. So we have established today that both of you should watch Sound of Metal today, right?
Yes, we will watch it, but there is when.
Also, Jackie, quick question: is Sound of Metal something we can find on streaming service? Because if yes, then it makes life super easy.
Give me a second. I will check now.
No. Jackie's here to help us.
Is Jackie UK based?
Not sure. Jackie, also, question to you: are you UK based? Is it your
Prime
first
Video?
time
It's on Prime Video.
Is it on Prime? Okay.
Yeah. Subscription. Jackie. Oh, hold on.
Is it paid Prime or?
Yeah. So this is what you got to be careful with. There was another film I thought, oh, it's free. Yeah. Join MGM. No, thank you. Yes, it's playing.
Sound of Metal should be on Amazon, says Pedro. Gavin Man says, I second that, Jackie. Essential watching. It's on Prime Video. And Miss Guilfoy's Detention says Sound of Metal will break your heart. And Jackie says Amazon Prime Video. Also, Jackie, where are you based? We'd love to know where we're talking to you from. So Brazil! We've got another one from Brazil with Pedro. Cool. Two Brazilians. I love it. Wicked, guys.
Thank you. Really appreciate the love, guys. Yeah. Again, thank you so much. You guys don't. Two guys from a school in the center of London connecting with people all around the world. It just doesn't. On paper, it just is surreal.
I mean, I've got our world chart up at the moment. We're listened to now in like a few countries in Africa. That's crazy. So Egypt, Zambia, Angola, and Namibia listen to us. Those are our 4 African countries. India is still our most listened to country by a long way. Like a long way.
The Croydon Destroyer.
Yeah.
When I say Croydon Destroyer, people, it's not anything racial. It's just that Croydon was for the longest while, inexplicably, we didn't know why or how, but Croydon had our biggest listening fellowship. And then came India just completely destroyed Croydon. Croydon's not even mentioned anymore.
Where is Croydon actually? Let me bring up our map. If we go United Kingdom, nah, Croydon ain't even there, bro.
That's mad.
Scotland's in there. Got Scotland. It's good.
Blue McIntyre. Sorry.
That
was the first Scotsman that came to my head. I Braveheart should have been what I should have called, but hey.
Not Andy Murray, eh? Jackie Gomez says, been following you guys on Twitter for a while now. I'm a fan. You know what, Jackie? We're fans of you. We're fans of you for being here. Thank you. That's awesome. Do I see Singapore, says Skillful is Detention? Let me have a quick look.
Biffa, is that where you're located out of interest? And when we mention this, guys, it's not that it doesn't. If you spread the word, it comes up on the map. So if you are in a country that hasn't been mentioned, just spread the word, and then you come up on our
India, United Kingdom, United States, Sweden, Colombia, Pakistan, Spain, Germany, Costa Rica. Jesus, we're Switzerland, Egypt, Peru, Poland, Brazil, Australia, Namibia, Italy, France, Kenya, Liberia, Myanmar. Wow. Philippines, Denmark, Angola. That's just from the last 30 days, though. Not seeing anyone come through from Singapore at the moment, Pedro. I'll have you know, Gavin, man, my Scottish accent's not so bad.
I'm not going to comment because there may be Scots in here, and I'm just going to leave it there and just be like, yeah. Do you know what? No. I have pranked people with my Scottish accent. No. Like, no, my Scottish.
Sir Alex Ferguson said, Man United are a great team.
I'll leave it there because I don't want to offend anyone, but I have literally sounded exactly like a Scotsman once that someone believed me that I was that person who'd been called it.
August, am I the only one for South America?
Well,
No, senor. We have Brazil, Peru, Colombia. We got a few in the house.
But you are Argentina. You do rep. You
do represent Argentina, mon ami.
Yeah.
Right, back to this Rushmore. So we got Amadeus.
So this is the thing. I was just about to shelve something, right? Just out of curiosity. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I don't want to overly put in two films I haven't seen, right? I may be swayed. However, Whiplash had me more than Amadeus.
I think Whiplash should be on there.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's weird for me to put two films that I haven't seen. It's been done. It's been done.
But you like the sound of Whiplash, don't you? Because it's good. It's really good.
Yeah. No, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm more Whiplash over Amadeus.
Oh, can the porn please go away? Jesus Christ. Block user. Porn is gone. Porn is gone. Can
I be honest?
Kevin Mann says, make it stop. I'm assuming that's my Scottish accent.
Based on...
Dan, you're the best, man. Tell 5 people about the Silver Screen Dudes. That's your week's homework, guys. Tell 5 people about the Silver Screen Dudes. Also, please be reminded that if you do love our content, you can buy us a coffee, and it's literally less than the price of a Starbucks at buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. Or the link is in the description below. No pressure, no expectation. It's up to you. Where were we?
I'm kind of tempted to fight for Ray, especially because of the feedback that people have had. Bro, I know it's not one that resonates to you, but it came up a lot. And if we're going to have contenders, let's get contenders.
So what I was going to pitch to you, I'm cool with Whiplash being on there, by the way. Are we cool with Whiplash?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 2 in there. I'm putting them in the I'm putting them in the private
1.5. One still needs to be convinced.
It's the only classical thing we've got. Diversity, quintessential. 8 Oscars.
Okay, so now, I'll give you that. So now we've got
Whiplash and Amadeus.
We've got classical and we've got fictional. So what we can.
I mean, fictional's quite broad, bro.
I'm trying my luck.
Fictional's quite a broad word to use when it comes to. See, now what I would say is we've got 3 hip hop movies that have been brought up.
Straight Outta Compton wins.
Does it go in?
Yeah.
Does it go in? It should.
Then now you've got me fighting to say that maybe Bohemian Rhapsody should go in because where have we covered rock?
Pedro Santos, will Nico be scared of putting La La Land on the Rushmore? Yes. Yes. That's why we're honoring Damien Chazelle with Whiplash. Much safer, much less.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I fought for that as well.
Yes, it's good.
It's not even a Suede one. I put it in before you.
Yes.
If I had seen What's Love Got to Do with It, I think that would have actually been a really strong fight. Buddy Holly was good. It was good. I'm not going to knock it. It's interesting to see how it would fare in a Rushmore.
It would get demolished next to Amadeus, Whiplash, and Straight Outta Compton. Are you kidding me here?
Check its RT rating and come back to me.
Bro, we're talking about Twitter here.
But I was shocked at how many people had actually heard of the film once I mentioned it. But then it's not been mentioned by everyone here. This is what kills me. The more it comes, bro, the more I'm like, well, it should be Bohemian Rhapsody.
But you really want to see your movie take a spanking? Like,
let it take it. But show me what you'd show differently. The only other one that could potentially then take it would be Coco because it's animation and.
Well, it's funny you say that because Pedro agrees.
Had I not done biopics, Coco would have made my list. That's a fact.
Jackie Gomez says, yes, Coco. I'd like Coco.
So here's a question for...
Big Tom says he said to Chugas, yeah! Fucker. Andy Hart says, Straight Out of Compton will destroy this poll. Mixed Memorabilia says, Bohemian might surprise you in a Rushmore.
So, for some reason now, Selena popped into my head as well. I was like, I wonder how the Spanish speaking one.
AJ, the pick is yours. Ray or Bohemian?
You said Ray or Bohemian?
Ray or Bohemian?
Oh, I thought it was Coco or Bohemian.
Well, you seem to be fighting for those two. I wouldn't include either of them, and I'd put Coco on, but that's me.
The next 3 comments, Coco or Bohemian Rhapsody. I will listen to you guys. I'm a man.
Guys, Coco or Bohemian Rhapsody? Fastest finger first. And here we go.
Bohemian Rhapsody will definitely win on Twitter.
It's a trend movie.
Bohemian.
Andy Hart says Coco. Pedro Sanchez. Sorry, hang on. Whoa.
I don't know what happened there. That was
very sorry, guys. The chat. Let's scroll back. So Jackie Gomez came in with Bohemian would definitely win on Twitter. Pedro said Coco. Den said Ray. Big Tone says why not Walk the Line because it's my number 10 and AJ's number 7. Andy Hart says Coco fulfills the diverse part as different to the others. This is what I'm saying, AJ. Mixed Memorabilia says Bohemian.
So technically that would have been the third.
How? Jackie Gomez isn't voting for Coco. Isn't voting for Bohemian. Jackie Gomez is voting for Coco. Jackie Gomez is noting here that Bohemian would win on Twitter. That's not the vote. So we have one for Coco. We have one.
Andy is quite adamant for Coco as well.
We have one for Coco. We have Andy Hart for Coco. We have Frank Torres for Coco. We have Jackie Gomez for Coco. We have Andy Hart again, Coco and Coco.
Yeah.
Andy Hart wants Coco.
Out of peer pressure, Andy alone, and for the fact that you're celebrating Birmingham taking a whooping, let's go with Coco.
Also, Francis Nolan says, is Jaws the musical? Yes, that would be a great musical. Oh, all right. Coco
Can I, while we're talking Jaws the musical, yeah?
Please don't.
No. I was just saying, what I do love as a musical was the small segment of The Simpsons where they've done Planet of the Apes, the musical. I actually still know that word for word. Fucking hilarious.
By the way, you want to talk about Jaws? If we do on our drunk... Okay, so just full disclaimer, guys. On our... upcoming this is on the 8th of March for those of you tuned in a bit later. We're going to be doing our drunk movie Mount Rushmore. where you all are going to profusely fuck with us and most likely see me vomit on live camera, which I'm so looking forward to not. But we're toying with the idea of drunken movie characters. I just want to say, Quint from Jaws. Here's to swimming with bow-legged women. That guy makes his own moonshine.
I need to ask people because it's an idea. Do you find us talking about us?
Yeah, guys. Serious question.
Do you feel that doing top 10 movie drunks is distasteful, or distasteful is essentially the right word we're looking for? Like, is it inappropriate
to count that? Well, it's the performances.
No, but put it this way: short of us getting a bit legless ourselves on this,
a bit. Have you seen what they threw at us tonight? You think it's going to be a bit? AJ, you're cute and I love you, but no.
No, but what I'm getting at is, guys, what I'm saying is, that might be a good rule by Frank there. You guys will have to enforce a 1 drink per 10-minute max. There might have to be a limit, but like it's 2 hours 25. Could you imagine how much alcohol? I don't even know if I'm going to buy that much alcohol. Let's be real.
Tequila. Right.
So
Andy Hart says drunk characters is a top idea.
Followed by distasteful.
So is it distasteful? Okay. But then you've got, but then Miss Guilfoyle says Nicolas Cage and leaving. See, he would have been one I would have picked. Best drunk guy.
Frank Torres. Take that.
Twitter will complain we're talking about a crowd that doesn't even approve of Barney from The Simpsons anymore. What? There's an exit?
That's mad. It's one of those things because the way I look at it as well, an episode where we weren't going to get a bit up there in the alcohol levels ourselves. Would that have been a topic we would have gone for? Or maybe we need to word it differently. But I don't know how you word it to make it sound tasteful.
Best portrayals of alcoholism.
Yeah.
But then does it become distasteful when we're trying to come at it from a serious point of view while we're both getting absolutely smashed?
But this is what I'm saying. It might be worth as a topic, yes, but it can't be. And I don't know.
I think I'm seeing
it is actually a I don't want to call it condition, but it's actually something people go through. And here we are going, here's to the top 10 drunks.
So
Good
true.
Point. Good point.
So true. Yeah, Francis Lalonde's right. Only problem could be their encouraging crowd.
Yeah, mixed memorabilia work.
Yeah, good topic, but not on the same day. Okay, we're gonna have to think of something a bit creative for this drunk movie fight. Suggestions welcome.
Do you know what? Do you know what might be one?
Go on.
And I think it's one that will screw us, and we will have a topic. I don't like being broad on it, but maybe top 10 international movies.
Oh, you are asking for trouble, aren't you?
All right, we'll think about it. We'll think about it.
No, do you know what's really funny? I've literally got messages on Twitter suggesting that.
Well, the thing is, as I said,
it is wanted by the Twitter community. That's what we discussed.
Broad, and I do sometimes believe it can be brought into countries. And I would love to honor very different countries. I know, I was cracking up at that.
Jackie Gomez. Jackie, what do you love? What, the whole international films thing? AJ, we're going to be fucking smashed if we do international.
We will be.
Do you know how deep the knowledge of some of these people is with international? Mixed memorabilia, if we fucking made it a private chat and just invited mixed memorabilia on, we'd get drunk. Have you seen this film from that Korean or Indian director? No.
Andy, I thank you for having our back. International movies will kill, capital kill you. Yeah.
I think you're asking for trouble here, AJ.
We'll think about it, guys. Look, there's still a few weeks to go.
Alternatively, given that this is something that's meant to entertain people, is that maybe the perfect topic to do?
I mean, did we do top 10 Korean movies?
No.
And then there's another, like Jackie Gomez.
Did we do Have we done top 10?
No, I don't think I've seen 10. I've seen a lot, but I haven't seen 10. One movie per country, that could be interesting. it would make it a challenge as well because I would have been very France heavy.
Yeah, one movie per country for us, and then if that's the one movie we don't pick from that country, then they've got fucking carte blanche to fuck
have
us.
you not done this? How have you not done that?
Have you not seen that from France? Have you not seen that from France? Have you not seen that from France? Oh, we're only on number 10. Well, that's us fucked.
90s action movies. It's an interesting one because there's a top 10. There'll be the classics.
This is a good one from Jackie. Top 10 original streaming movies. That's interesting.
Do you know what? That is a topic that I have thought of before. That is actually quite interesting because it's actually grown quite a bit.
That is a very interesting shout.
That could be one. No, Andy. No, we actually did. Sorry, Andy was. Are we stalling because you can't decide the fourth Rushmore? No,
we got it. Okay, let's do it. Come on.
All right, cool. Just to prove a point.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official movie Mount Rushmore of movies about musicians in no particular order is
Amadeus.
Our second entry is
Whiplash.
Our third entry is
Straight Outta Compton.
Crazy motherfucker name. That's cute. I can't resist.
With attitude.
Can't resist. Our final entry into the movie Mount Rushmore of movies about musicians is
Coco. It's interesting that when we talk about modern music, you were quite lucky there because when we were talking about modern music, Straight Outta Compton was the one that stuck out. I gave that to you.
Such a fucking good film, man.
It is. I'm not. But, I gave you that one there because I think that.
Right.
In fairness, modern music might have had to have been raped, but anyway, we've done.
Now, just before we leave and we finish up this discussion, I am going to share in the chat, as promised. Where is he?
Andy's made a good point. It would have to be UK. Problem with streaming is it varies in different countries, so it'd have to be UK streaming.
But this is this. So here's the thing: people have. I see some suggestions for top 10 Schwarzenegger films. The risk you've got there, as fans who are tuning in to see us get drunk or to have the power to get us drunk, you're going to be limited.
It could be pretty much dry January there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of shots here and there.
Spielberg films, I wouldn't mind. That's quite a broad list. And I know that we've got blind spots, but again, it's quite limited. I mean, okay, he's done 60 plus films, I think, but
we'll think about it. Because we will literally just be here debating top 10 ideas to try and get the screeners drunk.
Dan the Tech, you're the nicest man in the world. Thank you for that. By the way, guys, as promised at the top of the show, I would now like to present everyone to, look in the chat, Liberace Santa, Manuel Mijares, singing Feliz Navidad. When he goes into the second chorus, look how serious he gets. Oh la la.
Guys, and if you are listening on podcast, this is more than ever a reason to tune into the YouTube or the Facebook and click that comment because,
Top 10 Disney animation films is a good shout, but you're not going to fuck me on that one because if it's Disney animation, I've seen it. You're not going to catch me out on that one, so it's going to be Dry Nico.
Do you know what's just come into my head? I don't know why, but I'm thinking it would be a good laugh, and it may be, I don't know how many you've seen. Mel Brooks.
You've just given me another idea. Top 10 best movies to watch when drunk.
That's subjective, though.
Of course it is, but it's broad as fuck. Top 10 Kurosawa, Bergman, or Scorsese. Yo, I'm going to be drunk. How the fuck do you expect me to talk with any eloquence about Kurosawa films when Pedro, my guy? I'd like to keep a modicum of decorum after this. That's not going to happen, is it?
Right. let's not stall this because some people are just scared to the fucking end of it. So we will debate. We will put some out there, and then you guys can vote. It might even be like Francis Lalonde, Ballpark Frank. You may have just solved it. Top 10 party films. So then I've seen your one
too, though. Pedro's is good too. Although it's limited. Dan, you can fuck yourself.
Again, you would have to watch 10 Will Ferrell movies, and
I ain't watching 10 Will Ferrell movies. That's not happening, my bro. But by the way,
we've done martial art.
We have done martial art, anime, yeah. We got to think about this. It's so difficult. By the way, Jackie, I did see your comment about buying us a coffee earlier. First off, thank you for that.
Appreciate it.
Let me get PayPal set up if that makes it easier for everyone. I can do that tonight. No worries. So it'll be ready for next week. But Jackie, thank you for that. I like a limited pool to choose from. I don't want to do 15 shots in 2 hours. Oh,
I think party films might be the one.
Party films might be the one. Anime is also good. This party films is a good one. If we can't do drunks, we can do parties.
So in Mixed Memorabilia has put international films by country seems a good idea.
Gonna get fucked.
But hear me on this one. I think it's something I've mentioned before. Maybe once a month, that's what we should do, is honor a different country.
I'm up for that.
Or once a month to once a quarter, depending on how.
Once a quarter, because
I think once a quarter, just because it takes.
And we got an international community on here, so I can literally just say to Jackie or Pedro, like, "Hey, Brazilian movies, help me out."
Yeah.
It's gonna listen, guys. I think we've narrowed it down to 2. It's gonna be a toss-up between international films by country or party films. It's gonna be.
I think party films.
Party films is more in keeping, but how many party films are there? Are there many? The thing is that I kind of do want to get drunk on like close to my birthday episode, and Scottish films, Train Spotting.
That could be interesting.
You're a lucky woman. Best Brazilian movie, Elite Squad. That is with what's his face from Narcos, isn't it? Guilfoyle's Detention. Correct me if I'm wrong. The guy who plays Pablo Escobar in Narcos, isn't he the lead in Elite Squad? I believe that's correct. My favorite Brazilian movie has got to be Cidade de Deus, City of God. I love that film.
Jackie Gomez.
There you go. Jackie Gomez has got me right there. Boom. Cidade de Deus. I think that accent is a guilty pleasure. I love you too, Gavin.
And yes, it is the guy from Narcos.
Cool. Yeah, that accent is terrible. I acknowledge that. Irish films. In the Name of the Father.
Do you know what? I think we also owe that because do you remember the time we done top 10 UK or set in the UK and we're like, we forgot Ireland. So like, well,
but we had to.
Yeah, exactly. No, what I'm saying, yeah, we were panicking about what part of Ireland. So that could be another one.
Sing Street.
That would be pretty cool for St. Patrick's Day whenever that lands.
That's a great idea, AJ. Find out when St. Patrick's Day is and we'll do Irish movies. That is a fantastic shout. Or someone in the chat tell us, when is St. Patrick's Day 2022? Thursday, 17th of March. Cool. So literally the week after.
Cool.
Okay, we can do that. That's just fixed our following problem. Where were we? Okay, we'll discuss international or party. It's going to be one of those two.
Right.
It's going to be one of those two.
So, after a long debate over how you guys plan to get us pissed, we, the Silver Screen Dudes, have created the top 4 must-see movies are about your top 10. The must-see. Bloody drunk already. We, the Silver Screen Dudes, have created the 4 must-see movies of musicians/singers. Once again, they are Amadeus, Whiplash, Straight Outta Compton, and Coco. Now, while we have had the challenge to find the top 4 films, you, the screeners, have an even bigger challenge. Why? Because you have to find the best of the best of the best, El Capitan, El Numero Uno, and to quote Highlander and our good friend Andy, in the end, there can be only one. So, how do you vote? How do you crown this winner? Who is the top musician film? It's very simple. Just head on over to We Love Movies at Movie Polls for You, or head on over to @MovieMT Rushmore, where we will be retweeting and pinning good old JT's tweet, and you will get a chance to vote. There is only one vote, and next week the winner will be announced at the top of the show, just like last week. So that will be the one, guys. Get voting.
By the way, we've got another recommendation from Jackie Gomez here. Top 10 Batman movies when the Battinson premieres.
So Dan had recommended that as well a couple of weeks ago.
Another good one.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Ranking the Batman movies. 3 things are sure in life. AJ's so happy.
Batman stands out for me. That's the guy.
He's your guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's your guy.
Okay, guys. Well, yeah. Thank you once again. And again, if we could...
Love Andy.
Yeah, I will do. You'd be surprised what I could do. Maybe.
Pedro, to answer you, next week's topic, it is our last Fanuary episode. This one is from Mixed Memorabilia. We are doing the top 10 dystopian movies. So
it's an interesting one. I have so many. Again, if you guys wanted to see me drunk next week, could probably be the one.
Right,
I'm a bit edgy on that one. So, but it's one to be honored, and I'm enjoying it.
Epic for dystopian movies. Like it goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
It's huge.
It's huge.
So I know I won't be able to cover them all, but I will get my 10 in, and there are a few films that I definitely will get around to watching by the end of this. So that's that. But I know, no alcohol for me next week because it will not be nice. And yes, we will be able to get the final speech out. And again, guys, to quote what Den said, please just tell 5 friends. That's all you need to do. Just share the link. Just drop it in 5 different people's Twitter feed. Hey, you want to talk movies? Bang. Just click that link there. Share it on your Facebook. It will be truly appreciated. And it just helps build the community. This laugh that we're having could be even bigger because there will be more people to join in there. Nico has shown that you can buy us a coffee. And for those of you who have already brought us a coffee, it'll be a hot chocolate in my case. I thank you very much. We thank you very much. It's truly appreciated. And once again, for those who don't want the visuals, we are available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Geo7.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, that's the one. And if you do want to, once again, no pressure, guys, but if you do want to, it's www.buymeacoffee/movie dudes. So thank you very much. Until next week, I am the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
Been real, guys, from me and the Darth right here drinking the coffee. Love to you all. I'm Nico Lurot. I will see you. Oh, by the way, just a quick thing. I won't be coming from my usual surroundings. It's Tuesday. Not that it matters. I'm going to be in Poland. So apologies in advance. The mic quality might be a little bit lower because I'll be using my webcam, but there will still be a show. So we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.